Chapter 43-41. Buzz. A terrifying array erupted between heaven and earth, forming a pitch-black 9 underworlds blade that slashed down. As expected of the Holy City's supreme array, this blade was too terrifying. Even Lin Xian did not dare to take it head-on. He turned into a stream of light and dodged quickly. Below him, a city was instantly split open, and the people inside were all turned into ashes. It was too terrifying. After Lin Xian dodged the attack, a giant white-boned claw appeared between heaven and earth, enveloping him as well. He appeared and disappeared mysteriously, dodging both attacks in an instant. Kill! Those elders rushed over, leading the 9 Nether army to attack. Terrifying 9 underworlds laws emerged from each of the 9 underworlds army, forming a terrifying 9 underworlds wing. The 9 underworlds wing flapped, shattering heaven and earth. Buzz. The 9 underworlds wing instantly charged towards Lin Xian. Feeling the terrifying aura, Lin Xian roared. He no longer concealed his strength, and the 9 sun battle constitution on his body was completely unleashed. It was like a sun, illuminating the 9 heavens. This was the power of the purest yang, and it was extremely effective against the people of the Acheron Hole. As expected, the moment the 9 sun divine fire appeared, it swept out in all directions, and the cold aura between heaven and earth quickly dissipated like snow. The people in the distance were dumbfounded by this scene. It was too powerful. One had to know that the 9 underworlds army was led by the elders, and they could definitely sweep through everything. However, they were helpless in front of Lin Xian at this moment. Was the other party really alone? The pupils of the elder who was leading the group also shrank. He was the 23rd elder, and his face turned extremely ugly when he saw this scene. Who would have thought that the other party's strength would be so powerful? Lin Xian laughed coldly. What? Do you think you can kill me with just the likes of you? Don't you think you're too naive? The Acheron Hall is courting death by challenging Wushuang City. Now, you'll have to suffer my wrath. A cold voice spread across heaven and earth. Everyone sucked in a cold breath. The 23rd elder narrowed his eyes. To be honest, he had never thought that Lin Wuti would be so powerful. Could it be that Lin Xian had obtained great benefits from the Tao debate? But so what? No matter how great the benefits were, he could not behave atrociously in the Acheron Hole. Lin Xian was alone, and he did not believe that Lin Xian could keep fighting. 9 underworlds army, kill him! He roared, and the earth. The 9 underworlds army around him. They were like black waves, and the 9 underworlds army. The terrifying aura of the 9 underworlds covered the sky. At the same time, the yellow springs surged beneath their feet, covering the entire area. Buzz. The 9 suns' divine fire on Lin Xian's body surged and turned into a golden flaming giant. The 10 extinction swords in his hand were covered by the 9 suns' divine fire. The 9 underworlds. The underworlds. By underworlds at this moment, countless underworlds. It was hard for them to imagine that the other party could send so many people flying with a single strike. 9 underworlds of the underworlds to the underworlds of the underworlds of experts of underworlds Wushan. Tens of thousands of people attacked together, but they couldn't even block a single sword strike. Lin Xian sent his opponent flying with a single slash. Then, he quickly charged out. His target was the 23rd elder. He could see that the 23rd elder was the true core figure. The 23rd elder's pupils shrank as he saw the other party rushing towards him. The next moment, he roared, "You're courting death." The other party wanted to kill him. What a joke. The terrifying aura of the yellow springs was like the sea, instantly appearing around him. Then, the underworld sword appeared and pierced forward. Suddenly, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Lin Xian reached out with his golden hand, which transformed into the Man-King's seal as he attacked. The Man-Ruler's seal descended from the sky as if it could destroy everything. As soon as they started fighting, the 23rd Elder began to scream miserably. Because he couldn't block it at all. Under the power of the human ruler's seal, the underworld sword he had transformed into was instantly shattered. Not only that, but half of his body had also turned into a bloody mist. Damn it, how could he be so strong? He quickly retreated. At the same time, he mobilized the Underworld 9 Underworlds formation to launch a peerless attack. However, Lin Xian did use the Void Escape and instantly dodged. Then, he sent out another palm strike. In front of him, the endless void shattered. The 23rd Elder was directly killed. The surrounding 9 Underworlds army was stunned. The 23rd Elder was killed so easily. Who was this person? Lin Xian roared into the sky. He used the endless 9 suns divine fire, which turned into 81 suns that rotated between heaven and earth. The endless flames, together with the sun law, kept falling. The surrounding 9 Underworlds army couldn't resist at all. At this moment, Fu Hongye also made her move. Her powerful strength swept through everything. Damn it, there's still one more person. Kill them quickly. The people in the distance roared crazily. At this moment, the Underworld 9 Underworlds formation completely appeared. They mobilized the formation and charged towards Lin Xian. The other martial artists charged towards Fu Hongye. Lin Xian was completely targeted because compared to Fu Hongye, the people of Acheron Hall wanted to kill Lin Xian more. So in an instant, Lin Xian was pursued by a peerless force. Even the 9 Suns' divine body kept retreating. This peerless formation caused his chi and blood to roil. The 81 suns in the sky were also shrouded by the terrifying Underworld 9 Underworlds. That's great. Attack, kill him. Seeing this scene, the people of Acheron Hall were overjoyed. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You want to die? Then I'll fulfill your wish. Saying this, he roared. His palms formed a seal, and the Tai Chi diagram flew out and kept spinning. Half of the diagram turned into a sun to restrain these people. The remaining death law kept flying out and turned into a death mist, crazily sweeping around the surroundings. Although these people also cultivated the cold power, they were still human. As long as they were human, they would be afraid of the death law. As expected. Some people's vitality was instantly taken away. They turned into skeletons and fell from the sky. Not good, this is the power of death. Quickly dodge. Exclamations sounded one after another. The elders at the back also said, quickly retreat and get out of the skeleton army. Boom. The 9 Nether army retreated, but the skeleton army completely appeared. This skeleton army was a complete death element creature. They were not afraid of the death law at all. They planned to use such an army of bones to fight against Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian did not only have the death law. He had 10 types of laws. The 10 ultimate sword formation was activated and sealed the world. Although the skeleton army resisted the death law, they could not block the terrifying sword chi. The sword slashed down, and a cold light shone. Pieces of bones were shattered. No one could get close to Lin Xian. Damn it. They controlled the peerless formation and released a terrifying energy to block the 10 ultimate sword formation. They even attacked Lin Xian. Lin Xian asked for a retreat again, but a hint of cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. In the next moment, he took out the Great Destruction Spear. The attack pierced forward. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The aura of a Saint King swept in all directions. The surrounding people went crazy and vomited blood. Chapter 43-42. This attack scared them silly. The people of the Acheron Hole. They had never thought that Lin Xian would have the Saint King Wu in his hands. Moreover, he was able to unleash such power. Quickly retreat into the formation. The elders roared crazily. Around them, the Bone Army, the Nine Nether Army, and the Yellow Spring Army quickly retreated. They wanted to return to the Supreme Formation. However, at this moment, Lin Xian attacked again. The Great Spear of Destruction swept in all directions. With one strike, the bodies of the two elders instantly turned into a bloody mist. He was too strong. The others felt their scalps go numb. As for those who were hiding in the formation, their eyes turned red when they saw this scene. Damn it! Some elders roared. They had to kill the other party. He was not a real Saint King, so he could not use the Saint King Wu for a long time. Attack and consume his strength. I want to see. Without the Saint King Wu. What right does he have to contend with us? The terrifying formation operated quickly and swept in all directions. Lin Xian was still fine, but Fu Hongye kept dodging. Because no matter how strong he was still a little weak compared to the protective formation of the holy city. Lin Xian said, "Hongye, this is for you." As he spoke, he gave the Great Spear of Destruction to the other party. In the end, Fu Hongye destroyed the attack of the array with a single strike. Then, she said, "Little Uncle Master, what about you?" Lin Xian said, "I still have a trump card. I can contend with it." In the distance, the elders of the Acheron Hall revealed a sinister smile when they saw this scene. He really didn't know what was good for him. He actually gave the Saint King Wu. Gave it to someone else. Did you really think that you'd be able to contend against an exceptional spirit formation with your strength alone? Kill him. Suddenly, countless terrifying light shadows appeared in front of him. There was the Yellow Spring Dao diagram and the Nine Nether Blade. They kept falling. They attacked Lin Xian with all their strength. In their opinion, Lin Xian would be instantly killed into a bloody mist without the Great Spear of Destruction. The sky full of attacks and laws completely drowned Lin Xian. The people in front revealed sinister smiles. This time, he should be dead. Even Fu Hongye was nervous. He wanted to bring the Spear of Great Destruction over. However, in the next moment, the void split open and Lin Xian's figure appeared. There was an illusion of a pagoda around his body that blocked everything. You want to kill me? You're too weak. What? Not dead. How could this be? The people from Acheron Hall were stunned when they saw this scene. No one below the Sage Ruler realm could withstand the peerless Great Protective Formation, unless Lin Xian used the Sage King Wu like this before. Only Qi could resist it. However, Lin Xian had already defeated the Sage King. How did Fu Hongye manage to block it? Could it be that the other party has two pieces of Saint King Wu? Qi. When they thought of this possibility, their expressions became incomparably solemn. No way. Two Saint Kings. In the hands of a young man, they felt as if they were dreaming. One had to know that in a holy city, there were only a few pieces of Saint King Wu that had been passed down for thousands of years. How did the other party get it? Great. Seeing that Lin Xian was really not in danger, Fu Hongye also heaved a sigh of relief. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. Since that was the case, he would brandish the Spear of Great Destruction with all his might and begin to kill in all directions. A terrifying power swept out, causing heaven and earth to tremble. Even the peerless array formation was shaking non-stop. On the other hand, Lin Xian took out the great dragon sword soul. A dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared in his hand. In the next moment, he took a deep breath. At the same time, a bottle appeared in his left hand. The devouring bottle. He used the devouring vase to collect the blood of the people who had been killed around him. He gathered enough power and poured it into the great dragon sword soul. The power of the great dragon sword soul was not comparable to that of the sage King Wu. It was weak. However, to unleash such power, it consumed too much power. With Lin Xian's own power, it would not take long. Moreover, he was now in the Acheron Palace. It was impossible for him to consume so much power. Fortunately, there were too many powerhouses and sages around him who had fallen. The power that was floating between heaven and earth. It was enough for him to use. As expected, when the power in the devouring bottle poured into the great dragon sword soul, Lin Xian waved the dragon-shaped sword shadow. A dragon's roar sounded, and the sword qi slashed forward. The formation attacks that were aimed at Lin Xian were all blocked. Not only that, Lin Xian even used the law, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. As more and more people fell, the devouring bottle absorbed more and more power. In the end, the sword slashed open the formation. The faces of the people in the formation became extremely ugly. What was going on? In an instant, they were split into a bloody mist. The remaining people fled frantically. However, how could they be a match for Lin Xian? Another sword slashed down, and tens of thousands of Acheron warriors were completely destroyed. The eyes of the elders who were still alive turned red. "Quick, inform the great elder. Inform our sage king. Tell them to come back quickly." Previously, they thought that with their strength and the peerless formation, they would be able to kill the other party. After all, the other party was only 2 people. However, they did not expect that the 2 people on Lin Xian's side were so powerful that they actually took out 2 Sage King Wu. They even broke their protective formation. This made it impossible for them to resist, so they could only ask for help. Some people fled into the distance and began to form seals to send messages using secret methods. However, their expressions soon changed. Why hadn't they appeared yet? Logically speaking, after such a terrifying thing happened, those powerhouses who had left should have appeared instantly. However, those people had not appeared yet. Quickly investigate what was going on. Soon, someone flew over from afar. Not good, all 5 of our formation areas have been destroyed. We can't teleport over. The others' expressions became extremely ugly. Their hearts seemed to have fallen into a bottomless abyss. Damn it, the other party must have planned this beforehand. What should we do, Elder? If the Sage King doesn't return, all of our souls will be destroyed in less than half an hour. Indeed, the current situation was too critical. Who would have thought that someone could sneak in and destroy so many of their teleportation formations? Furthermore, he was able to nearly destroy their holy city. Damn it, we still have formations. Activate those ancient formations. As a holy city, the Acheron Temple had been passed down for tens of thousands of years. Naturally, it would not have such a weak foundation. Therefore, the ground soon cracked, and an extremely terrifying formation appeared. It carried an ancient aura. Ancient formations were usually not used. They would only be used in extremely dangerous places. Now, that moment had arrived. Chapter 43-43. It would take some time for the ancient array to activate, but it wouldn't take too long. Soon, an extremely terrifying aura spread out. The ancient array was activated. The Great Elder and the other experts were about to return. It was even possible that the Silver Corp Saint King would be teleported over. After all, no Saint King would be able to ignore such a huge matter. Lin Xian also felt a chill down his spine. He knew that it was the killing intent of a Saint King. That was why he said, "Hongye, leave quickly." They were very powerful now. With 2 Saint King weapons, they could sweep through everything. However, it was still very difficult for them to meet a true Saint King. Especially since they were in the Acheron Palace. The Silver Corpse Saint King had too many advantages. Therefore, they had to leave. The 2 of them struck out again, shattering heaven and earth. Then, they quickly flew into the sky. They wanted to escape. What kind of joke was this? Stop them. The eyes of the elders turned red. They had suffered such heavy losses. They were almost wiped out. They wanted to leave now. Impossible. Let them stay and wait for our Saint King to return and tear them into pieces. These people frantically attacked, wanting to stop them. The remaining spirit arrays also quickly charged over. Seal, don't let him escape. He knows spatial powers. An elder roared. Countless laws appeared in the sky, sealing heaven and earth. It seemed that even with spatial powers, they couldn't escape. What should we do? Fu Hongye's face was cold. Lin Xian's face was solemn. He said, "Give me your power." Fu Hongye gave her power to Lin Xian. At the same time, Lin Xian used the devouring bottle to madly absorb the power of this world. Then, he poured it all into the great dragon sword soul. With a sword, the sky was completely split open. Then, the 2 of them turned into flowing light and disappeared. Boom! Boom! At the same time, the ancient array below also flickered. Then, countless figures walked out of the array. The person in the lead released a cold aura. The moment he appeared, he looked disdainfully. He was the Silver Corpse Saint King. After coming out, he saw the surrounding scene and his face immediately turned ugly. What's going on? The elite elders behind him were all stunned. Oh my God, was this still their saint city? One had to know that their holy city was a holy land for cultivation. However, what was in front of them now? There were mountains of corpses and seas of blood. The sky was shattered and the earth was split open. It looked like it had been destroyed. Damn it, what happened? The great elder jumped out and roared crazily. The people around him ran over crying and knelt on the ground. Holy King, take revenge. You must take revenge for us. The Silver Corpse Saint King released a terrifying killing intent. What was going on? It was Lin Wudi. 2 people from Peerless City, they came here to cause trouble and killed too many of our people. He had to capture the Saint Kings and tear them to pieces. What? Lin Wudi. The Great Elder and the others were stunned when they heard this. 2 young people could beat up their holy city to such a state. They couldn't believe it. If the unparalleled Saint King had come personally, it was still possible. Those 2 people are very strong, and they have 2 Saint King weapons in their hands. We can't stop them. A bunch of trash, kneel down and accept your punishment. The Silver Corpse Saint King was completely enraged. He roared and split open the sky. At the same time, the boundless Yellow Springs diagram covered the sky and spread out in all directions. At this moment, a huge Yellow Springs diagram appeared in the starry sky and spread out rapidly. It spread out to billions of stars. However, they couldn't find Lin Xian and Lin Wudi anymore. Damn it! The Silver Corpse Saint King roared and the stars in the sky shattered. The people around him knelt down. They kept kowtowing and begging for mercy. A bunch of trash, you can't even keep an eye on those 2 people. You should go to hell. The Silver Corpse Saint King's face was extremely cold. His heart was bleeding. The great elder and the others beside him also had ugly expressions. Indeed, with such a thing happening, it would be difficult for the guards to absolve themselves from the blame. The great elder said, "Calm down, Holy King. The most important thing now was to capture the people from Peerless City. They couldn't let them go." The silver corpse Saint King's face was cold. He had just left and his holy city was almost uprooted. If this spread out, he wouldn't have any face left. Therefore, he gritted his teeth and said, "I'll give you a chance to redeem yourselves. Find that kid. Otherwise, you can go to hell. Don't worry, Holy King. We'll find that kid." Those who were still alive quickly took action. On the other side, in a remote world of stars in the distant universe, two figures descended. They were Lin Xian and Fu Hongye. The two of them used the great dragon sword soul to break the seal. Then, Lin Xian used the void escape technique to escape from the Holy King's detection. After landing on the ground, they looked around cautiously. When they realized that no one was following them, they heaved a sigh of relief. Fu Hongye clenched her fists. Lin Xian's lips curled into an icy smile. Previously, their overbearing attacks had severely damaged the yellow spring hole. This had allowed them to vent the resentment in their hearts. This time, the people from the Acheron Hall were severely injured. They had lost a lot of their foundation. Moreover, if this battle spread out, it would intimidate others. He wanted to see who would dare to challenge the Peerless City in the future. Lin Xian snorted. "Silver Corpse Holy King, just you wait. This is just the beginning. I'll let you know the consequences of offending the Peerless City." Lin Xian's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Indeed, this was just the beginning. If there was a chance in the future, they would attack even more aggressively. However, we have to be careful. The Acheron Hall will definitely take revenge. They'll look for us all over the universe. Fu Hongye frowned and said, "I have to tell the other brothers to hide. If they were caught, the consequences would be unimaginable." Lin Xian nodded and said, "I wonder what the people from the Acheron Hall are participating in. Something must have happened in the true spirit world. We can go and take a look." Lin Xian prepared to return to the true spirit world. On the other side, the news had spread. The people from the second astral realm were confused at first. They realized that the people from the Acheron Hall had gone crazy these few days, searching for the whereabouts of the Peerless City. Soon, they received the news. The Acheron Hall was ambushed and suffered heavy losses. Even the protective array was split open. It was said that the Acheron Hall had turned into a hell. Many geniuses and experts had fallen. What? There was such a thing. The others were shocked when they heard it. That was the Holy City. Who did it? The news couldn't be fake, right? How could it be? It was true. Then who was the culprit? Chapter 43-44. With such strength, could it be that a Saint King had made a move? I don't know, but I guess it must be related to Wushuang City. Perhaps they've already started to take revenge. Exclamations and discussions could be heard. The other saint cities were also shocked when they learned about it. Especially the Myriad Sword Pavilion, Myriad Demon City, Great Desolation Mansion, and other saint cities that had enmity with Wushuang City. After learning about the Acheron Palace's situation, they all tightened their defenses. They were afraid that they would be ambushed as well. In Quintessential World, it was extremely lively. The Primordial Grotto was a supreme existence with an extremely ancient inheritance. At this moment, the Primordial Grotto was holding a grand event that attracted countless saint lands and sects to participate. Among them, the saint cities of the second astral realm were invited as the most important guests to participate in this grand event. For a time, the territory where the primordial grotto was located was incomparably lively as countless geniuses and experts gathered in one place. At this moment, they also knew that a group of people had arrived. They were powerful existences from the distant starry sky path. Those saint cities were also known by everyone. Many of the saint cities' geniuses and experts had even made a move. This greatly surprised the people of quintessential world. Moreover, some saint lands and saint cities had even started to join forces. Many of them were even related. Therefore, everyone gradually accepted these saint cities. Moreover, every saint city had a saint king overseeing it. They were currently the most terrifying existences. However, no matter how many geniuses and experts there were, they had to follow the rules if they wanted to enter the primordial grotto. Everyone had to present an invitation and congratulatory gifts. They could only enter after being searched. However, on this day, someone flew in forcefully. That figure descended in an unusually forceful manner. Countless people raised their heads to look, and discussions could be heard. Who was this? How could he not know the rules? Some people sneered. There were always people who thought that they were special and could stand above everything. But didn't he see where this was? This was the primordial grotto. The other saint lands and saint cities didn't dare to be presumptuous here. How could someone be so reckless? I think he's tired of living. Indeed, he was too reckless. Discussions could be heard one after another. Especially when they saw that the person who descended was a young man, they all shook their heads and sighed. He was young and full of vigor, but he didn't know the difference between life and death. He would probably end up in a miserable state. But to everyone's surprise, the people of the ancient grotto didn't get angry. Some of the older generation members even walked out with smiles on their faces. He respectfully invited the young man in. The surrounding people were all stunned. Damn, what was the meaning of this? Who was this person? Could it be that he was an expert from some holy city? That shouldn't be the case. Recently, we've seen most of the geniuses in the saint city of the second astral realm, but there's no such person. Then who was he? Everyone was even more confused. At this moment, someone asked, "No way, you don't even know who he is?" He was Han Chong, a very famous top genius. Han Chong, it was actually him. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air after hearing this. They were no stranger to this name. This name was even more famous than the experts and geniuses in the saint city of the second astral realm. This was because the speed of their rise was extremely fast. In just 1 or 2 months, they had consecutively defeated the experts of the Holy Land. His strength was shocking. Moreover, his identity seemed to be very mysterious. Up until now, no one had been able to guess his identity. And now, as soon as he appeared, the elders of the ancient grotto personally welcomed him. This showed that his identity was definitely very terrifying. Next, the crowd discovered that besides Han Chong, there were a few other mysterious and unfamiliar youths who had descended. They were also respectfully invited in. These people were also geniuses who had risen recently. Everyone was even more curious about their identities. Next, more experts from the Holy City and Holy Land came one after another. The people of the ancient grotto all came out to welcome them. The surrounding people were incomparably shocked. They could indeed see peerless figures at such a grand event. Suddenly, the sky darkened. It was as if 6 illusions had appeared in the surroundings. Then, an extremely terrifying aura surged over. At the same time, the expressions of many people in the ancient grotto changed. The elders and experts of the primordial grotto all stood up as well. They soared into the air and quickly flew outside. The surrounding people exclaimed. A peerless expert had come. Was it a holy king? Discussions sounded. Everyone felt their scalps go numb when they felt the pressure. In the next moment, they saw a mysterious figure appear in the sky. It was as if he had become the only one, attracting countless gazes. Most people didn't know who he was. However, some people from the holy city had participated in the third stage of the Tao discussion. Thus, when they saw that figure, they were all greatly astonished. The reincarnation protector was actually him. He was an extremely terrifying and mysterious existence. Even holy kings had to be respectful when they saw him. They hadn't expected the ancient grotto to be able to invite such a person. As expected, the kings of the ancient grotto all came out and respectfully invited the reincarnation protector in. The surrounding people were discussing spiritedly. Who exactly was this person? As expected of the ancient grotto, it had actually attracted so many holy kings. It was probably very difficult for others to do so. Some people exclaimed. However, there were also people from the holy city who snorted coldly. These holy kings had probably come because they knew the reincarnation protector would come. At the end of the day, these holy kings wanted to befriend the reincarnation protector. They didn't care about the ancient grotto. Other than the holy kings, there were also some extremely powerful geniuses standing in front of them. As rising stars, they were qualified to stand there. Among them, there were a few figures that were unusually eye-catching. They were Han Chong and the others. Suddenly, another terrifying figure appeared. Many people turned their heads to look at it. Some people were stunned. Who was this person? He also had a terrifying aura. Was he also a young genius? They saw a 16 or 17-year-old youth standing there. He had delicate features, but the aura he emitted was overwhelming. He was even stronger than Han Chong and the others. Was there such a terrifying genius in the world? However, some people from the holy city sucked in a cold breath when they saw him. Peerless Holy King. He had actually come here. Hadn't he been hunted down by the three great sage kings and died? Those people were completely stunned. All of a sudden, news about Peerless Saint King began to spread. When others heard it, they were also shocked. Chapter 43-45. Everyone knew about the battle between the sage kings in the eastern wilderness. They did not expect him to be the main character of the battle. He was chased by three great sage kings and was still alive. But why did he dare to come here? Was he not afraid that the Silver Corpse Sage King would attack him again? Some people from the sacred city frowned. They knew that the Silver Corpse Sage King had a special relationship with the primordial grotto. If they fought here, the unparalleled Sage King would not be able to escape. However, some of the older people knew that they would not be able to fight here. After all, even if they did not respect the primordial grotto, they had to respect the reincarnation guardian. Since the unparalleled Sage King had appeared, would the people from Wushuang City come as well? At the mention of Wushuang City, everyone remembered the 9 geniuses. Each of them was extremely powerful. Especially Lin Xian, they looked up to him. They wondered how he would fare compared to Han Chong and the others. The Saint Kings at the front looked at the reincarnation protector respectfully. Among them, Sage King Yan Ling walked over and laughed loudly. Reincarnation Guardian, I did not expect you to come to the primordial grotto. Your presence brings light to the primordial grotto. Guardian, please. He respectfully invited the reincarnation guardian into the main hall. The surrounding Sage Kings also came up to greet him. The main hall was prepared for the top geniuses. Ordinary people could not enter. Those who could enter were all Sage Kings. Every Sage King would bring a few outstanding disciples with him. For example, Sage King Wuji of the Limitless sect brought Chao Tianxing. Sage King Canghai waited for Canghai. The other Sage Kings from the Sacred City also brought their top geniuses. They all sat down. Unparalleled Sage King also entered the main hall. As expected, the Sage Kings gave the reincarnation guardian face and did not make things difficult for him. Even the primordial grotto did not make a move. Unparalleled Sage King sat down with Linghu Chueshua and Fu Hongye beside him. These two were also top geniuses. However, to everyone's surprise, they did not see Lin Xian. That kid did not come. On the other side, the people from the Acheron Hall stared at the people from Wushuang City with murderous intent. The Silver Corp Sage King's face turned pale. He had returned. However, the first elder did not come. It seemed that he had gone back to oversee things. After all, they were afraid that the people of Peerless City would launch a sneak attack. The others also felt the biting cold killing intent, and their scalps went numb. Peerless Saint King sneered. He had also heard about the previous incident. This is great. That was all he could say. Let these people attack them again. Now they know the consequences, right? Furthermore, he swore that this was only the beginning. In the future, he would let these people know the consequences of chasing after him. At this moment, another person walked in. It was someone from the Demon City. Soaring Sky Saint King took the lead as a terrifying Saint Dao aura radiated from his body. Beside him were 9 Qilins, and they were equally mighty and extraordinary. At this moment, the 9 Qilins were much stronger than before. After he arrived, he brought with him a disdainful aura. His gaze quickly swept across the room, and he was slightly taken aback when he did not see Lin Xian. Skysoar Saint King said, "Qilin." The 9 Qilins came back to their senses and walked forward. Senior Spirit Yen, this is a little respect from the Demon City. We hope that you will accept it. As he spoke, the 9 Qilins took out a piece of Divine Realm from his storage ring. The Divine Realm was as big as a bowl, and there was something sealed inside. It seemed to be an old herb. For it to be sealed by the Divine Realm, it was definitely an old herb passed down from the ancient times. It was priceless and unimaginable. Qilin nephew, you're too kind. Spirit Yen laughed and let someone receive the gift. The primordial grotto had connections with the primordial tribe. The 9 Qilins had the bloodline of the Qilin tribe, so they naturally hoped to join forces with someone like him. The inside of the main hall was extraordinary, and it was even more lively outside. Countless people were discussing amongst themselves. At this moment, countless figures were riding on clouds from afar, flying over at high speed. More people had arrived, and they seemed to be huge figures. Countless people looked over. In the next moment, many people began to discuss because they realized that this group of people had arrived with great force. The guards below were also stunned. Were there some big shots? Should they inform the elders to welcome them? They hurriedly sent voice transmissions. Soon, an elder walked out of the primordial grotto and welcomed them with a smile. However, when they saw the sky, those elders stopped in their tracks and even frowned. The others also exclaimed. It was him. Lin Wudi. He really dared to come. Some people from the holy city immediately exclaimed when they saw this scene. The Acheron Hall was instantly filled with killing intent. The people of the Great Desolate Mansion, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, and the Thunder God City also had cold expressions. The elder of the primordial grotto snorted coldly. Brat, you're too arrogant. How dare you descend from the sky? Are you looking down on the primordial grotto? Men, beat them up. With an order, the guards of the primordial grotto stood up and drew their long swords. They stabbed their swords into the sky, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Lin Xian stood in the void with his hands behind his back. He didn't make a move. Beside him, a figure walked out. Courting death. Peacock roared and slapped out. The resplendent lights suppressed the world and sent all the guards flying. This scene alarmed the surrounding people. He was too arrogant. Even Han Chong and the others wouldn't dare to make a move here. However, Lin Xian actually dared to make a move. Wasn't he afraid of angering the primordial grotto? The elders of the primordial grotto were also furious. Do you want to die? Suddenly, the three elders exuded an unparalleled aura. Lin Xian's eyes were cold as he looked down. Peacock snorted coldly. What? You dare to make a move? Are you trying to start a war with the temple? As soon as he said that, the people of the primordial grotto were stunned. What's going on? Temple? Isn't he from Peerless City? Why is he from the temple? Their expressions became extremely ugly. Only the sage rulers knew about Lin Xian's true identity. The others didn't know at all. Therefore, they didn't know how Lin Xian was related to the temple. The surrounding people were really shocked. They didn't know about the temple, but they knew the name of the temple. The Temple of Immortals. It was an existence even more terrifying than an ordinary sacred land. It was the overlord of Zhongzhou. Now, it was actually standing behind Lin Xian. Some people from the sacred city frowned, while some of the older generation people's eyes flickered. Why does this person look so familiar? Yes, Lin Wudi. Is this his name? Or is it his title? What was his original name? The elders of the primordial grotto said coldly, Kid, I don't know how you got the Temple of Immortals to support you, but don't be too presumptuous. Stay here obediently. Lin Xian landed and looked ahead. He said coldly, Who do you think you are? How dare you teach me a lesson? Someone, slap him. Chapter 43-46. Boz. As soon as he finished speaking, a figure stood out from behind Lin Xian. It was a tall man who looked like a god of war. He slapped out with his palm. You're courting death. The elder from the primordial grotto was furious. The other party actually dared to slap him. What a joke. He roared and punched out with both fists, activating his terrifying bloodline power. However, he still couldn't block it. With one slap, his face was slapped hard, and he spat out blood and flew backward. Half of his face was smashed. The surrounding people were stunned. This was too domineering. The pupils of the people from the holy city constricted, and the powerhouses of the other holy lands also gasped. Where did this ruthless person come from? You! The elder who was slapped in the face got up, and his expression became extremely ugly. The other two elders were furious. You're courting death. Lin Xian snorted coldly. How dare you resist? He continued to slap him. Immediately, Xing Tian attacked again. Xing Tian was originally in existence to protect Lin Xian. After the world changed, his strength naturally advanced by leaps and bounds. At this moment, he had already reached the late stage of the Holy Venerable Realm. He wasn't someone these two elders could contend with. Sure enough, after Xing Tian slapped twice, the two elders spat out blood again and flew backward. Everyone was stunned. Lin Xian's cold voice sounded again. Who else dares to stop me? Silence. No one spoke. Even the people from the primordial grotto were silent. What a joke. Even the three elders couldn't defeat such a powerful person, let alone the others. Let's go. Lin Xian circled around. Then, he waved his hand and led his people away. Looking at the backs of these people, the others discussed. Where did these powerhouses come from? Some people exclaimed. The place they were going to was probably the primordial hole. Only holy kings could enter that place. Did he want to go in? What a joke. Discussions broke out one after another. They felt that these people were too audacious. The eyes of those from the holy city also flickered. Others might not know, but they knew that this was Lin Xian. Moreover, there were other direct disciples of Wushuang City. If those people wanted to find Wushuang Saint King, they might be qualified to enter. The other people had also discovered the tomb, especially the 3 elders who had been slapped in the face. They were gnashing their teeth. Let this brat be arrogant then. When the time came and he offended the Sage King, he would definitely be slapped to death. Soon, Lin Xian and the others arrived in front of the primeval hall. Outside the immemorial palace, there were many sacred venerables acting as guards. The moment they saw Lin Xian arrive, they clashed their swords and sabers. Stop! Is this a place you can come to? Get out of here. These people were very strong. I'll give you 3 seconds to take back your words, get out of the way, and apologize. If you do, I won't make a move. Lin Xian's cold voice rang out. Just you. Those saint venerables sneered. However, the powerful figures behind Lin Xian unleashed extremely terrifying auras. It was as if 100,000 mountains were pressing down on them. Instantly, a few saint venerables spat out blood. Their faces turned pale. So powerful. Who are these people? And the scene here directly alarmed the people in the main hall. Following this, countless gazes were directed toward them. Sage King Yanling frowned. What was going on? Who dared to cause trouble in their territory? If they offended the reincarnation guardians, he would definitely make them suffer. However, he was soon stunned. The other Sage Kings were also stunned. Only Sage King Wushuang smiled. Lin Wudi was here too. He still dared to come. Many Sage Kings had strange expressions. Meanwhile, Sage King Silver Corpse stood up abruptly. Extremely cold killing intent burst out from his eyes. The temperature of the entire place instantly dropped. Sage King Yanling was also filled with killing intent. After all, the other party had killed many of their primeval grotto's elites. How dare you block our path? Outside, the peacock roared. Xing Tian snorted and quickly got out of the way. The energy from his body suppressed heaven and earth. Similarly, Lu Yuan, Shengguan Shaoxian, and the others also exuded a terrifying aura. We are Sage King Wushuang's personal disciples. We have passed the 3rd stage of the Tao discussion. How dare you block our path? The moment those words came out, the guards sucked in a breath of cold air. Their expressions changed. They did not expect these people to be so powerful. They put away their weapons and said, please. However, no one moved. Lin Xian looked at them and said coldly, I said to get out of the way. Take back your words and apologize. Now, since you don't apologize, don't blame me for being rude. After he finished speaking, a golden light appeared in his eyes. He used his soul eye technique. Immediately, the guards held their heads and vomited blood. Their souls were severely injured in an instant. The surrounding people were all stunned. Oh my God! This kid dares to attack in front of those Sage Kings. The young geniuses in the hall sucked in a breath of cold air. As expected of Lin Wudi. He is indeed arrogant. Han Chong and the others also turned their heads. Their eyes flashed. This is interesting. They did not expect to meet such an arrogant person. However, he doesn't know what death is. If he did not have a high status, he would not be able to survive. Let's go. Before the others could say anything, Lin Xian waved his hand and led the group into the primordial hall. After they entered, they were surrounded by a few terrifying gazes. Among them, there was the Silver Corpse Sage King and Sage King Yanling. Everyone felt a chill down their spines. They knew that the Sage King would not act rashly here. "My disciples, come over," Sage King Wushuang said calmly. Immediately, Lu Yuan, Shengguan Shaoxian, and the others came behind Sage King Wushuang. However, Lin Xian did not move. He stood in the hall. The surrounding people were stunned. What is this kid trying to do? Lin Xian looked at the Silver Corpse Sage King and sneered. Why are you still here? Aren't you afraid that the Acheron Palace will be attacked again? Hearing Lin Xian's words, the Silver Corpse Sage King felt as if he had been stabbed in his heart. He almost went berserk. A terrifying aura spread out. At this moment, Sage King Wushuang said, "Why? Do you want to fight here?" The Silver Corpse Sage King snorted. He did not attack. Instead, he said, "Kid, just you wait. I will remember this. One day, I will catch you and tear you to pieces. I'm afraid you won't have the chance." Lin Xian sneered and looked away from Sage King Wushuang. Then, he looked at Sage King Yanling. Sage King Yanling's face was cold. Before he could say anything, Sage King Yanling said, "Is this how the primordial grotto treats their guests? What a disappointment." Many people's faces changed when they heard that. Sage King Yanling's face was dark too. However, this time, they were in their territory. As the host, he could not be angry like the Sage King. He said, "What do you mean? Did the primordial grotto not treat you well?" "Nonsense, of course we didn't treat you well. There isn't even a place for me to sit in this hall. How dare you say you treated me well?" The surrounding people were stunned when they heard that. Especially the younger disciples. They sucked in a cold breath. This guy still wants to sit. What a joke. Chapter 43-47. These elite sky prides could enter, but they could only stand behind the Sage King. The only ones who could sit were Han Chong and a few others. Apart from them, only the Sage King could sit. But now, Lin Xian made such a request. "Kid, who do you think you are? You think you can sit?" One of the sky prides from the immemorial grotto sneered. The people from the Thunder God City and Myriad Demon City also raised the corners of their mouths in disdain. "Looks like you don't know what's good for you." Wan Jianyi also sneered. Lin Xian looked at the geniuses from the immemorial grotto and said, "If it wasn't for the reincarnation guardian, I can guarantee that all of you would be dead now." Then, he looked at Wan Jianyi. "What right does a defeated opponent like you have to mock me? Right now, I can crush you with just one hand. If you're not convinced, come and fight me." "You! Damn it!" The surrounding geniuses were so angry that they vomited blood. Wan Jianyi was even angrier. Damn it, how despicable. Lin Xian was rubbing salt on his wound. "I want to fight you." He stood up with a loud bang. However, Lin Xian said that he was not qualified and that he should go back. The Divine Ghost Sword King also frowned and retreated. Wan Jianyi retreated unwillingly. The Divine Ghost Sword King looked at Unparalleled Sage King and frowned. "Unparalleled, your disciple is too much. You can be arrogant, but you should look at the situation first." "Disciple?" Unparalleled Sage King laughed after hearing that. "Who told you that he's my disciple?" Everyone was stunned when they heard that. Could it be that Lin Xian was not even a personal disciple? Then where did he get the courage to be arrogant? However, in the next moment, they were stunned. Unparalleled Sage King said, "He's not my disciple, right, junior brother Lin?" As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were stunned. Did they hear it wrong? Unparalleled Sage King called Lin Xian his junior brother. That was unbelievable. Could it be that Lin Xian was not his disciple? He was his junior brother. How was that possible? For a moment, everyone could not believe it. Even the genius disciples were dumbfounded. Lin Xian said with a smile. He was right. Unparalleled Saint King was indeed his senior brother. Hearing this, the others took a deep breath. It seemed that this was the case. Otherwise, a Saint King would not lie about this. No wonder the other party was so arrogant. It turned out that his identity was not ordinary. Soon, Fong Ling Holy King snorted coldly. Hiss, so what? Although your seniority has increased, your strength is still too weak. A mere middle stage holy venerate is not qualified to be on equal footing with us. Not qualified. Are you sure? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and sneered. At this moment, Peacock stood out and said coldly, Sage King Spirit Yen, I respect you as a senior. That was why he didn't say anything before. However, now that you dare to be rude to my temple master, I won't be polite even if you're a Saint King. Do you want to make an enemy out of Deity's Templar by challenging the Temple Lord? Since that's the case, I'll accompany you to the end. Humph. Xing Tian snorted coldly. The people behind Lin Xian also unleashed their terrifying laws. A terrifying aura spread out in all directions. The surrounding people were all stunned. Oh my God, what's going on? They were already shocked and Lin Xian became the junior brother of a Saint King. Now, Lin Xian became the temple master of Deity's Templar. This was unbelievable. Deity's Templar was not any weaker than Sacred City. Lin Xian was equivalent to a Saint King. What's going on? Can someone give them an explanation? For a moment, the young geniuses were all stunned. Gu Feng snorted coldly, looking very unhappy. Because he had already known about this beforehand. As for the other Saint Kings, they were all dumbfounded. To be honest, they did not know either. Some of them knew that perhaps Lin Xian was related to Deity's Templar. However, Lin Xian was the temple master, which shocked them. What's wrong, Sage King Spirit Yen? Do you think that Deity's Templar is not qualified to be here? If that's the case, I'll leave immediately. However, from today onwards, we'll be enemies. We'll fight to the death. Lin Xian said coldly. The people from Primordial Grotto were all stunned. Sage King Spirit Yan's face turned ugly. To be honest, they were not afraid of Deity's Templar because Primordial Grotto was also powerful. They even had many allies. However, if Lin Xian was determined to go against them, they would suffer heavy losses. He did not want such an outcome. Despicable brat, I'll let you be arrogant for a while, Sage King Spirit Yen thought to himself. So young Master Lin is the temple master of Deity's Templar. This is the first time I've heard of this. Please forgive me for my lack of hospitality. Men, give Temple Master Lin a seat. Soon, someone started to move. They placed the seats at the entrance of the main hall. It was obvious that the seats were very far back. Even if they were seated, they would be inferior. However, Lin Xian did not go. Instead, he said, there's no need for such trouble. I'll just sit with my senior brother. As he said that, he walked over to Sage King Wushuang and sat down. What he wanted was not a seat, but an attitude. He wanted to announce to the world that he, Lin Xian, was not only a member of Wushuang City, but also the temple master of Deity's Templar. From now on, Sage Kings would not be able to look down on him. This was because his status was on equal footing with Sage King's. The atmosphere in the main hall was a little quiet. Everyone's expression was very strange. These two pieces of news were like a sudden clap of thunder. It was hard for them to accept. As for those from Primordial Grotto, their faces were also ugly. Lin Xian had given them a hard slap in the face, making them lose face. When the people outside the main hall heard this, they were even more shocked. There was such a thing. The people of the older generation exclaimed in shock. I finally know who he is. He's the Central Emperor. What? The Central Emperor? Isn't that a legendary existence? Some of the young geniuses in True Spirit World were also shocked. They were not unfamiliar with this name. However, it only existed in history. They thought that it was still a legend. This was one of the 5 most dazzling geniuses in the past. Legend had it that he had left this place and gone to the ancient Star Road. Who would have thought that he would return now? For a time, all kinds of legends about Lin Xian began to spread rapidly. In the main hall, the reincarnation protector was also surprised. This young man was actually the temple master. Beside the reincarnation protector sat Han Chong and the others. Their gazes also fell on Lin Xian. Interesting, this person was getting more and more interesting. The Central Emperor of the past was now a top genius of Wushuang City and the Temple Master. They wondered how strong he was. These people were very interested. So what if he was the Temple Master? They did not take him seriously because their identities were even more terrifying. Therefore, a few young people looked at Lin Xian with a piercing cold light in their eyes. Feeling this aura, Lin Xian naturally turned his head to look. In the next moment, their gazes met in the air and directly tore a large crack in the void. Thank you for tipping Piao Hong. Thank you for all your tipping, recommendations, monthly votes, subscriptions, and favorites. Chapter 43-48. Lin Xian didn't care about their murderous intent at all. He said, "What? Are you all blind? Or are you trying to bully me?" Shi Yinhu obviously didn't have good intentions when he proposed a toast to me. His wine was filled with killing intent and violent energy. It was enough to pierce through the world. However, it was obvious that he wasn't skilled enough and his foundation wasn't stable, so he couldn't control the energy and injured himself. How can you blame me for this? If you ask me, you can only blame him for being trash. You. The elders of the Immemorial Grotto were so angry that they vomited blood. Kid, don't talk nonsense. How could Shi Yinhu have hidden killing intent? That's right, it's a bunch of nonsense. Your excuse doesn't make sense at all. These elders still won't back down. Lin Xian sneered. Are you all idiots? What do you think the people here are? Are they all trash? Do you think they can be manipulated by you? Those who can come here are all sacred venerables and top geniuses. I'm not the only one who knows what happened just now. Everyone knows. If you don't believe me, you can ask around and see who attacked first. Also, don't stand out like a clown. You'll only make others think that the people of the Immemorial Grotto are trash. Damn it. The people of the Immemorial Grotto were so angry that they vomited blood. However, they looked around and found that there were indeed some sacred cities and sacred grounds who were looking at them with cold eyes. They were obviously disdainful of what had just happened. Kid, why do I feel like you're the one who attacked first? The Silver Corpse Holy King stood up. Yes, that's right. The Soaring Sky Holy King also stood up. You're the one who attacked first. Are you still trying to accuse a deer of being a horse? Lin Xian laughed. Do you think you can cover the sky with one hand? Silver Corpse Holy King, your sacred city is about to be destroyed. You still have the face to stand here. If I were you, I would have found a place to cry. I don't know why you still have the face to stand here. It seems that your face is even thicker than your protective formation. Boom! The Silver Corpse Holy King was instantly enraged. A terrifying killing intent swept through the 9 heavens. He was so angry that he was about to explode. Damn it! The other party was saying such things again. This was the pain in his heart for the rest of his life. He had lost all his face. However, Lin Xian didn't care at all. He looked at Soaring Sky Saint King and said, "Why? Do you think that you can form an alliance with Immemorial Grotto by helping them? What a joke. Don't worry, I'll pay more attention to your 1,000 Demon City next time. I hope that your 1,000 Demon City's guardian formation will be stronger than the Yellow Springs Halls. Otherwise, I can guarantee that you will end up in an even worse state." Soaring Sky Saint King's eyes narrowed when he heard that. Damn it, were they going to attack them? Damn it, they would probably have to be especially vigilant in the future. They really wanted to kill the kid in front of them immediately. The other saint rulers all gasped in shock at the same time. Being ambushed and almost destroyed by someone else was a huge threat to anyone. For a moment, no one dared to stand out. Lin Xian challenged 8 desolations alone and actually did not fall into a disadvantageous position. At this moment, Shi Yunhu's injuries had already healed. His face was ferocious. "Damn kid, I don't care who you are. I want you to die today." He was really angry. He had never been injured like this since he was young. Now that he was injured in front of everyone, he had lost so much face. He had to get back at him. "Just you." Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disdain. Shi Yunhu was no match for him. Shi Yunhu was about to vomit blood. However, he did not dare to make a move. "Kid, I don't need to do anything here. Someone else can deal with you." With that, he waved his hand and 3 figures walked out of the hole. "How dare you attack our young master? You will definitely die today." The auras of the 3 people were abnormally strong. Moreover, they were wearing armor. It seemed like they were the experts guarding Shi Yunhu. At this moment, a man in black armor attacked. He slapped out with a terrifying thunder that tore through the sky. The power of this attack made countless people exclaim. What a terrifying power. This person's strength was too strong. Some people from the sacred grounds even exclaimed. This was the Annihilation Thunder. This kind of thunder was extremely terrifying. They did not know how the other party was going to fight. Those who were in the later stage felt their scalps go numb. They all looked at Lin Xian. However, Lin Wan did not dodge at all. She still sat there and allowed the terrifying thunder palm to come to her. Did he have a death wish? Seeing that the other party did not dodge, the armored man snorted and revealed a sinister smile. It seemed that the other party was not much. This move was enough to kill the other party. A mere thunder palm dares to compete with me. At this moment, Lin Xian spoke. In the next moment, he grabbed the air with his hand. The boundless law of thunder condensed and formed a thunder sword that slashed forward. It turned into a thunder dragon and descended from the sky. With a clanging sound, the entire hall was illuminated, and the sound of countless thunder dragons resounded. Everyone's ears were about to bleed. With one strike, the terrifying Annihilation Thunder Palm was directly broken. Not only that, the body of the man in black armor was split in half and fell to the ground. One sword destroyed both his body and soul. The surrounding people were stunned. What kind of sword technique was that? It was too strong. Thunder Palm. The other party had also used Thunder Palm. No way, right? Countless people exclaimed. The strength of the man in black armor was obviously very terrifying. Even the older generation figures did not dare to fight him head-on. However, in the hands of Lin Xian, he could not even block a single strike. The faces of the people from the ancient grotto also changed. Shi Yunhu's face turned incomparably pale. How could this be? He felt a wave of fear and despair. The three powerhouses he brought were very strong. None of them were weaker than him. In fact, they were even stronger than him. However, such people could not even block a single strike in the hands of the other party. Fortunately, he did not do it himself. Otherwise, he would probably be a dead man now. Shi Yunhu, are you planning to use such people to fight me? Is there no one else in the ancient grotto? Such trash, come at me together. Don't waste my time. Lin Xian said indifferently. The faces of the people from the ancient grotto changed. Shi Yunhu also gritted his teeth and attacked together. They used all their strength. When the remaining two powerhouses heard this, they also roared. One of them threw out a terrifying punch, while the other formed a blue spear and stabbed out. Holy Earth Fist. With a punch, a terrifying power surged between heaven and earth, vast and mighty. This punch pierced through heaven and earth, causing everyone's faces to change again. On the other side, the blue spear stabbed over, turning into a stream of light in the sky. It attacked Lin Xian from a strange angle. The two of them attacked together, and their coordination was very good. No late-stage Holy Venerate would be able to block it. Chapter 43-49. Ignorant Ant. Lin Xian sneered and stretched out his palm. He formed a seal with his fingers and the human ruler seal flew out and blasted forward. With one blow, the surrounding aura became extremely terrifying. It was as if the entire world was about to freeze. A huge pressure swept across the 9 heavens as if a peerless elite had been resurrected. Boom! The void in front of them instantly shattered and shrouded the two of them. Crack! 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 Under the horrified gaze of countless people, the bodies of the two elite warriors shattered into pieces and scattered on the ground. Did he kill them with one blow? Seeing this scene, the young geniuses and the sage kings were all stunned. They found it unbelievable. After all, even the older generation in the later stages would not be able to withstand the combined attack of the two elite warriors. How could this guy be so powerful? Shi Yunhu's face was filled with fear. It was as if he was facing a sage king. Lin Xian raised his head and looked forward. Then, he said, "What other trump cards do you have? Show them all. Why don't you do it yourself?" Hearing this, Shi Yunhu's face turned pale. He quickly retreated and almost fell to the ground. The people from the sacred hall sneered disdainfully at the sight of this. Lin Xian said, "A piece of trash like you is not worthy of my attack. Get lost." With that, he waved his hand and a gust of wind blew Shi Yunhu away. Damn it! The people of the primordial grotto gritted their teeth and stared forward coldly. Xing Tian stood out and said, "What? Do you want to fight? The temple will fight you to the end. Is the temple that arrogant?" The Silver Corp Sage King also stood out. On the other side, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, Thunder God City, and Demon City also stood up. The Peerless Sage King also stood up. His eyes were cold. "What? Do you want to continue the previous battle? I will fight you to the end." In an instant, the atmosphere was extremely tense. All of a sudden, Lin Xian frowned. He could feel that something was wrong with his body. The great dragon sword soul was operating wildly. It was not him, but the great dragon sword soul that was operating on its own. It destroyed a trace of energy in his body. What's going on? Lin Xian was shocked. He activated his Tianji divine eyes to check his body. He saw a wisp of gray aura quickly spreading. However, it was impossible to detect this aura without using the heavenly secret god eyes. Was he poisoned? Lin Xian was incomparably shocked. They raised their heads and looked at King Peerless. Peerless Saint King was also confused. Junior brother, what's wrong? Senior brother, can't you feel it? It was poisonous. As soon as he said that, the people around him were stunned. Even Peerless Saint King was stunned. He closed his eyes and tried to sense it. In the next moment, his pupils shrank. Damn it, are you trying to use despicable methods? What, was he poisoned? The other Saint Kings were also shocked. Exclamations of surprise could be heard one after another. A cold glint appeared in Spirit Saint King Yan's eyes, but it quickly disappeared. In the next moment, he said, "How is this possible? What reason do I have to frame you? Damn it, what the hell is going on?" The King of Vast Sea frowned. On the other side, Bus Saint King also said, "Why do I feel like there's a mysterious force suppressing my cultivation?" As the Saint King spoke, the rest of the people were all stunned. What's going on? Why do those young people look so confused? Why don't they feel that way? Lin Xian's expression was extremely ugly. Could it be that this was a trap specifically for the Saint Kings? But how did the other party do it? It was impossible to put poison in the wine. Many people looked at Spirit Saint King Yan, their eyes filled with killing intent. Spirit Saint King Yan did not say anything, but he secretly gave a look. At this moment, Silver Corpse Saint King walked out. Everyone, stop arguing. Even I'm poisoned. Do you think it's the primordial grotto's doing? As soon as he said that, the others were also shocked. What? Silver Corpse Saint King was poisoned. That's impossible. After all, Silver Corpse Saint King was Spirit Saint King Yan's son. Who knows if you're really poisoned? Peerless Saint King snorted. Silver Corpse Saint King said, "If you don't believe me, you can check." As expected, a Saint King's gaze covered his body. In the next moment, they found that there was a mysterious force in his body. Not only him, but Soaring Saint King, Desolate Saint King, and Divine Ghost Sword King were all poisoned. Damn it, hurry up and get rid of the poison. These people all moved. They did not dare to delay. The Sage Kings had a lot of heaven and earth treasures in their hands. They even had all kinds of elixirs. However, they found that they were not very useful. It was the same for Peerless Saint King. His expression became even uglier. The only one who could get rid of the poison was Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not need to eat any elixirs. The great dragon sword soul in his body could get rid of all of this. However, he had to do his best. Therefore, he could only protect himself now. He could not help Peerless Saint King and the others. However, he frowned. He found that he had seen this strange energy before. It did not seem to be poison. It was a curse. He had seen it in Green Mountain Saint King's body. He had even helped Green Mountain Saint King to get rid of it. However, he did not expect that the curse would appear in his body. What surprised him was that the curse only seemed to be effective on Saint Kings. Among the young people, he was the only one who was cursed. What the hell was going on? Who was the one behind this? Lin Xian activated his heavenly secret god eyes and looked around. He didn't find anyone suspicious. At this moment, the other Saint Kings were also roaring. Damn it, how could this be? They found that no matter what they did, it was useless. They could only use their power to suppress it. However, this was not the way. Just as they were anxious, the people outside were also exclaiming. They found that another group of experts had arrived quickly. These people were also young and mysterious. It seemed that their auras were similar to Han Chong and the others. After these people landed, they quickly flew towards the primordial hole. Soon, they arrived nearby. Everyone in the primordial hall was extremely nervous. If any enemies came at this time, they would be in great danger. Who was it? Saint King Yan Ling shouted angrily. Those mysterious people outside, by the way, are us. After saying that, these people walked in. They were also young people. Compared to Ling Huchueshue and the others, they had a trace of experience. Their arrival surprised Lin Xian and the others. Those Saint Kings were also surprised. Why did they come back? Exclamations could be heard. Lin Xian and the others were stunned. What was going on? Peerless Saint King said with a frown. The previous group of people who went to the buried Emperor Star had returned. Lin Xian was shocked. Were the 10 people in front of him the previous group of people who went to the buried Emperor Star? Then what did their return mean? Why did they come at this time? Lin Xian did not know. Please recommend, vote, subscribe, collect, reward. Chapter 4350. Those people walked in and said, every time the Sage Heaven's Tao discussion ends, the seal on the buried Emperor Star will weaken a lot and we can use this opportunity to return. This time, we have decided to return and take a look. That's great. Those Sage Kings revealed gratified smiles. These people, who had left the Holy City back then, now had Holy King weapons. They were probably the pinnacle existences among Sage sovereigns. Master, your aura doesn't seem right. Could it be that you're injured? A man wearing a starry robe walked towards the 7-star Sage King. We've been poisoned. The 7-star Sage King said in a deep voice. That expert frowned when he heard that. Who did it? His gaze became sharp and he said with concern, Master, this is a spiritual medicine that I brought from the buried Emperor Star. It can cure hundreds of poisons. Eat it. It'll definitely work. After saying that, he took out a single bottle. When the others saw that, their eyes turned red. The elixir that was brought back from the buried Emperor Star was definitely miraculous. Sure enough, the other 9 people also walked back to their sage cities. Master, don't worry. We also have elixirs. These were all obtained from the heavenly abode. Great. The origin returning technique. The Sage Kings from the Joyful Union Palace also swallowed the elixir. No one from the peerless Sage King side came. That was because none of them had entered the buried Emperor Star previously. However, at that moment, the Joyful Union Palace's Sage King sent over an elixir to the peerless Sage King. The peerless Sage King took the elixir and examined it carefully. He did not find any problems with it. Therefore, he swallowed it. Sure enough, the moment he swallowed it, he felt that the power of the curse had weakened. However, in the next moment, the peerless Sage King's pupils shrank and he spat out a mouthful of black blood. The other Sage Kings' faces also changed greatly. What's going on? The 7-star Sage King roared in anger. Damned evil disciple, how dare you trick me? That figure retreated and laughed loudly. So what if I trick you? How is this the great sage's corpse poison? You Sage Kings are unable to resist it. So stop struggling. What? The great sage's corpse poison. When the others heard that, their faces changed. Sure enough, they felt that there was an even more terrifying poison in their bodies. poison quickly spread. Those Saint Kings all spat out blood, and their faces darkened. Peerless Saint King was not having a good time either. Lin Xian's expression changed as well. His heavenly secret god eyes instantly scanned the unparalleled holy light. In the next moment, his expression turned extremely ugly. Not good, he fell into a trap. If the previous curse could still be suppressed, given enough time, Lin Xian could help these sage kings get rid of it. But now, there was nothing he could do about the great sage's corpse poison. All of them contained the power of the great sage, which was extremely terrifying. From the looks of it, the person who had secretly cursed them also knew that the power of these curses wouldn't be able to kill these sage kings for the time being. That was why they had made other arrangements. Sure enough, these saint kings were all poisoned by corpse poison. Lin Xian suspected that it was done by the people from the primordial grotto. However, at this moment, the faces of Spirit King, Holy King's silver corpse, and the others from the primeval grotto turned dark. He looked like he had been poisoned. This made him even more confused. Who was it that had spent so much effort to kill them all? At the front, those people who had returned from the buried Emperor's star were saying to the sky, "It's done." The pupils of Lin Xian and the other young geniuses constricted. Who were these people talking to? In the next moment, they saw one figure after another appear in the void, suppressing heaven and earth. There were a total of 8 figures, and they were extremely terrifying. The auras of these 8 people were unparalleled. They had also reached the Sage King realm. What was going on? How could there be so many Sage Kings? The surrounding youths were all stunned. There were only 1 or 2 Sage Kings in each sacred city. Moreover, some of them were used as a foundation and had always been in hibernation. It could be said that there were very few Sage Kings. Now, most of them had already come here and were all poisoned. But now, some mysterious Sage Kings had appeared out of nowhere. These people's auras were at their peak. They could probably kill everything with a wave of their hand. What should they do? The young disciples were in despair. If their Sage Kings weren't poisoned, they naturally wouldn't be afraid. But in this situation, they couldn't do anything. Wait. They all looked at the Reincarnation Guardian, who was sitting at the forefront silently. It was as if the Reincarnation Guardian wasn't injured or poisoned. If the Reincarnation Guardian intervened, would he be able to intimidate these Sage Kings? A genius from the Limitless sect instantly walked over and knelt down on one knee. He begged the Reincarnation Guardian to help their Sage Kings. The people from the 7-Star Tower and the other sacred cities also asked the Reincarnation Guardian to help. However, the Reincarnation Guardian didn't say anything. He didn't even care about them. Instead, he turned his head and looked at the sky. He looked at the 8 figures that were like gods and demons. The auras of the 8 figures were abnormally hazy. He couldn't see clearly at all. Who exactly were they? Among them, the aura of the leader was abnormally terrifying. He was even more powerful than an ordinary Sage King. He said, "Reincarnation Guardian, I didn't expect to meet you here. I'm really lucky. We're not targeting you this time, so we don't want to disturb you. But I hope that you won't make things difficult for us." "Alright." The Reincarnation Guardian said one word and then didn't say anything else. Everyone's hearts sank to the bottom of their hearts. They were definitely going to die in this way. Peerless Sage King's face was also extremely cold. "Human world, I didn't expect you guys to attack us in the true spirit world. What a good plan." As soon as he said that, the surrounding people's faces also changed. This was too inconceivable. Were these 8 Saint Kings even people of this world? This was simply unbelievable. One should know that there were only a few sage kings in each sacred city. If the human world was so powerful, they could wipe out everything. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. Were these people from the human world? That's right. We from the human world will once again descend into this world. If you guys are willing to submit to us, we can save your lives. We can also increase your cultivation by another level. As soon as he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. The mysterious leader flipped his hand and took out a treasure box. He said, "There are 10 elixirs in the box that can save 10 sage kings. Who is prepared to submit to us? We'll give you elixirs to cure the poison." Hearing that, the crowd fell silent. Elixirs. What a joke. Previously, their disciples had said that it was an antidote. In the end, it was the corpse poison of the great sage. Now, who knew if it was an even more powerful poison? So no one dared to go. Humph. A bunch of despicable things. Wuji Sage King snorted. On the other side, Thunder Sage King from Thunder Divine City also roared. You dare to attack us? Don't think that you can be arrogant just because we're injured. Really, do you really think you're still a Sage King? Chapter 43-51. With a command, a figure walked out from the sky. Endless laws condensed in his hand, forming a killing sword. It bloomed with an extremely terrifying aura. Boom! The sword chi was like a river of stars, dazzling and dazzling. A terrifying killing intent slashed down. In an instant, it enveloped those people from Thunder God City. Those experts narrowed their eyes. Thunder God King roared and retreated quickly. With a roar, he clapped his palms and sent everyone around him flying. Then, he struck out a thunder and killed it into the sky. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out, and countless cracks appeared in the surroundings. The immemorial palace shook and was torn apart in an instant. Those people in the surroundings were also sent flying while vomiting blood. The people in the distance roared crazily. Run! Who would have thought that such a situation would happen in such a grand event? Was it blocked? The people from Thunder God City heaved a sigh of relief. They realized that their Sage King had blocked this attack. The others also had hope. However, at this moment, Thunder God King's body swayed, and he vomited a mouthful of black blood. His face was filled with black chi. From the looks of it, the poison had deepened. The assassin who attacked sneered. You overestimate your strength. Do you think that you can still use your strength after being poisoned by the great sage's corpse poison? Speaking until here, he slashed out with his sword again. Boom! Thunder God King was sent flying, and his body was split into two. Arg! With a roar, Thunder God King's soul rushed out, wanting to escape. However, that Sage King also took out a blood-colored flag and enveloped Thunder God King in the blood river. Boundless aura spread out. Thunder God King's soul was poisoned, so he couldn't resist at all. Not long after, he was swallowed by the blood sea. Those people in the surroundings were stunned. Oh heavens, what did they just see? A Sage King was killed just like that. This was too inconceivable. No! When the people from Thunder God City saw this scene, they roared even more crazily. They had all gone crazy. Had their Saint King fallen? On the other side, the other Sage Kings also felt their scalps go numb. Damn it, these people are serious. Let's go. They took their disciples and flew in all directions. In the sky, those people from the world of men sneered. Don't you think it's too late to leave now? Attack, leave no one alive. A few other figures also descended. This was a true Saint King who could suppress a region. Immediately, the entire area was sealed off, blocking everyone's path. Damn it, get out of here. Limitless Saint King roared in anger as he threw a punch forward. At the same time, the black aura on his face became even more terrifying. However, he did not hold back. This time, they had to break out of the encirclement. Otherwise, their fate would be very miserable. It was the same for the other Sage Kings. In an instant, a great battle broke out. What should we do? The people from Peerless City were also extremely nervous. Lin Xian frowned. The situation in front of him was very unfavorable. Although the other party only had 8 Saint Kings, which was less than their side, they were all at their peak. If they fought like this, they had no chance of winning at all. In the next moment, he turned to look at a figure in the distance and said coldly. Spirit Saint King Yan, this is the Primordial Grotto. It's your territory. With your foundation, you should have many arrays. Why are you still not opening them? Are you waiting for something? As expected, the other people also turned their heads. Spirit Saint King Yan's face darkened. He said coldly, you're too naive. If the people from the world of men can poison us, then they've already destroyed the array. If that's the case, then he must have destroyed the formation of our primordial grotto long ago. There's nothing I can do now. The other Sage King's faces changed. So that was the case. It seemed that there was really no hope. However, Peerless Saint King snorted coldly. He pulled out the unparalleled sword and slashed forward. He was not attacking the people from the world of men, but Spirit Saint King Yan. This scene gave everyone a fright. The people from the primordial grotto were also shocked. Spirit Saint King Yan's face darkened. He snorted coldly and then slapped out with his palm. With a boom, he actually sent the unparalleled sword flying. Peerless retreated and spat out a mouthful of blood. His face darkened. Linghu Chueshua and the others were shocked. It can't be. The other party blocked the attack with his bare hands. Lin Xian sucked in a cold breath. It seemed that even though they were both Sage Kings, Spirit Saint King Yan's strength was still very strong. At this moment, Peerless Saint King sneered. Looking at you, you don't seem to be poisoned at all. How do you explain this? That's right. A few Sage Kings turned their heads. Their eyes were filled with doubt and coldness. Could it be that this matter had something to do with the other party? Peerless Saint King snorted coldly. I'm very suspicious now. You and the people from the world of men worked together to set up this trap. It was all for the sake of killing us. Damn it, it can't be. Everyone exclaimed. Wuji Saint King roared. How dare you be so despicable? What nonsense. Spirit Saint King snorted coldly. How could it be? Don't be fooled by him. Now, everyone should be united to deal with the people from the world of men. United. It sounded nice. Kunlun Saint King sneered. Why didn't the people from the world of men attack you from the beginning? So far, the primordial grotto's losses were the least, right? Damn it. Spirit Saint King's pupils constricted when he heard that. His expression became extremely ugly. In the next moment, he sent a telepathic message. Do it, or these old things will see through it. In the sky, the people from the world of men smirked when they heard the telepathic message. The leader sneered. Who said that we don't dare to attack the people from the primordial grotto? Go, kill them. A Sage King descended from the sky. His powerful aura suppressed the surroundings. He attacked the people from the primordial grotto. Spirit Saint King pretended to be angry. Scram. He struck out with both palms. However, this time, another Sage King attacked again. One of them enveloped Shi Yunhu and turned him into a bloody mist. Buzz! The blood-red flag in the sky rolled and formed a river of blood. It instantly absorbed the bloody mist in the sky. The surrounding people were stunned. What was going on? Was Shi Yunhu also dead? Spirit Saint King roared. Damn it! He attacked crazily. However, the people from the world of men hid. Are you satisfied now? My grandson has been killed. Do you still suspect that I'm with them? Spirit Saint King's cold voice spread in all directions. The others also frowned. It seemed that this had nothing to do with the world of men anymore. However, Peerless Saint King and the others sneered. It was just a young junior. What was there to pity about his death? He probably had more than 10 grandchildren. It seemed that Peerless Saint King and the others had been suspicious. Buzz! Buzz! However, at this time, other than the 8 great Sage Kings in the sky, many other black-clothed people appeared. They were all terrifying experts in the world of men. Chapter 43-52. Get lost. Lin Xian roared angrily and slapped out with the man-ruler seal, directly sending the 3 Saint Venerables flying. He was incomparably powerful, like a barbarian war god. At the same time, Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the rest also made their moves. The laws between heaven and earth spread, sweeping across all directions. A battle sword cut through everything. B5 The others also counterattacked crazily. But at this time, with a boom, the 7-star tower Saint King was directly blasted into a bloody mist. Terrifying Saint Blood was vast and mighty between heaven and earth. Boom! The 7-star Saint King was seriously injured and retreated frantically. The other Saint Kings were also injured. There was no choice. They were first cursed, then the Saint Corpse poison. To be able to persist until now and not die was already very heaven-defying. Damn it, this was not a way to go on. Linghu Chueshue and the rest gritted their teeth. Because the enemies charging towards them were increasing. Finally, a Saint King's gaze looked over in their direction. In an instant, Linghu Chueshue and the rest all vomited blood and flew out. Lin Xian was also furious and took out the Great Destruction Spear. The terrifying demonic aura was vast and mighty, blocking that person's gaze. Too powerful. Lin Xian and the rest were shocked. They raised their heads and discovered that it was actually the leader who was staring at them. This person's strength was clearly very strong, belonging to the level of Saint King Yanling. Facing such a terrifying aura, Lin Xian prepared to use the Great Sage Pagoda. However, in an instant, his body stiffened. He discovered that he was actually unable to summon the Great Sage Pagoda. A mysterious force had suppressed him. Damn it, it was a curse. Someone was cursing him. He was not the only one. The people around him also turned pale. Who was it that actually had such a terrifying curse ability? Lin Xian's expression was ugly. Without the Great Sage Pagoda, they would probably be in danger. The leader in the sky sneered. Kid, do you think we haven't analyzed you? We have long known what trump cards you have, so don't think about escaping from our hands. After saying that, the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. Lin Xian's expression became extremely ugly. Damn it, these people were really targeting him. Who would have thought that she would even know about his possession of the Great Sage Pagoda? Now that he was cursed, he couldn't use the Great Sage Pagoda. What should he do next? At this moment, the terrifying Saint King's palm descended like a part of the sky, aiming to kill Lin Xian. At the same time, it also enveloped Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the others. Even the peerless Holy King was enveloped within it. It seemed like he wanted to catch them all in one fell swoop. Whing! Just then, peerless Saint King roared and created a huge whirlpool to block the hand. They quickly retreated. What, do you still have strength? Let's see how long you can run. That was the leader of the Saint Kings. He didn't attack immediately. Instead, he smiled coldly. He waved his hand and a sacred ruler immediately led many sacred venerates to surround Lin Xian and the others. There were 2 half-step Saint Kings among them. They were very powerful. With such a lineup, Peerless City would be in grave danger if they were to face off against them. The other sacred cities didn't have the extra energy and strength to deal with this matter. After all, they couldn't even protect themselves. Peerless Saint King and the others would definitely die. The Saint King said, "I'll see." He won't let him do it. As for his disciples, you guys can do it. I want him to see his personal disciples with his own eyes. They'll all die in front of his eyes. These people revealed ferocious smiles. They were all wearing masks on their faces and their faces couldn't be seen. However, the murderous aura on their bodies swept through the 9 heavens. Among them, the aura of the 2 half-step Saint Kings was even more terrifying. It was as if they were going to sweep through everything. One of the half-step Saint Kings stared at Lin Xian and said, "I want to kill this guy personally. I'll leave the others to you guys." Everyone was shocked. Those from the Sacred Hall also had ugly expressions. Xing Tian and Peacock wanted to help. However, Lin Xian said, "No need. You guys go and fight the others. Protect my senior. As for this trash, leave him to me." Lin Xian's eyes flashed with murderous intent. The half-step Saint King in front of him frowned after hearing Lin Xian's words. Trash. How dare Lin Xian call him trash? One should know that he already had 1 foot in the Saint King realm. He was very powerful. Lin Xian was just an ant. What right did he have to say such things? Just because he had a Saint King weapon? What a joke. Kid, don't think that you can be arrogant in front of me just because you have a powerful trump card. You can't do it now. As he spoke, he formed a seal with his palms and spat out countless storms. These storms actually contained deadly poison. Saint King corpse poison. Although it wasn't as powerful as the great sage's corpse poison, it was still extremely terrifying. Even a Saint King wouldn't dare to fight against it. Not to mention those below the Saint King realm. As expected, those people around Lin Xian also quickly retreated. Lin Xian snorted. He activated the 9 Yang divine body. Terrifying flames surged. The moment the two collided, an earth-shattering sound was immediately heard. Lin Xian's 9 Yang divine fire was actually suppressed by the Saint King corpse poison. It was even about to be extinguished. Seeing this scene, the expert sneered. The corners of his mouth curled up. Kid, do you see that? This is the difference between us. Do you think you can fight against me? What divine body? It can't even withstand a single blow from me. He was very proud. To be able to easily kill a peerless genius was simply the best for him. However, in the next moment, his pupils shrank. Not good. He quickly retreated. Because he saw that although Lin Xian's 9 Yang divine fire was suppressed, he wasn't enveloped by the Saint King corpse poison. Moreover, there was a black bolt of lightning in the other party's hand that pierced over. It carried an astonishing power that seemed to be able to pierce through the sky. Boom! In an instant, the poison that he shot out was pierced. Otherwise, the black lightning would have arrived in front of him. Get lost! The expert roared angrily and struck out with both palms. It was as if two mountains had appeared between heaven and earth. His own strength was extremely powerful. He was confident that he could block everything. Boom! However, in the next moment, blood burst forth. A miserable cry was heard. A huge power sent him flying. Both of his hands had been smashed apart. Damn it, how was this possible? The half-step Saint Venerate's expression became incomparably ugly. How could the other party be so strong? Damn it, was that black spear the spear of great destruction? He was truly too shocked. The surrounding people were also stunned. Heavens, a half-step Saint King was injured in one strike in front of the other party. It was truly too inconceivable. What's going on? The other people also turned their heads to look at them. He was too careless. He didn't expect that the other party could use the Saint King weapon to such an extent. Chapter 43-53. After saying that, the man's broken arm healed again, and a cold murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Kid, you are indeed very strong with a Saint King weapon, but you are not a true Saint King. So that attack just now used at least 1/3 of your strength, right? How many more times can you use such an attack? I don't believe you can use it endlessly. As for me, I already have 1 foot in the Saint King realm. It will be easy for me to kill you. After saying that, a trace of cold murderous intent appeared in his eyes. A long spear appeared in his hand, blooming with a terrifying light. At the same time, a shield appeared in his hand. It was a white bone shield, clearly made from the bones of some strong cultivator after death. Its power was so strong that the surrounding world kept shattering. Die! He waved the long spear in his hand, and it turned into a bolt of lightning, charging out again. So what if the other party had a Saint King weapon? He believed that with his cultivation, he could suppress everything. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and his face turned cold. He had to admit that the other party was indeed very strong. If it was another late-stage Saint Venerable, that attack just now could completely destroy the other party's soul. But now, he did not do it. The other party's arm was only damaged. And now, he still had the strength to stand. He took a deep breath, and a cold light appeared in his eyes. He waved the Great Destruction spear again, and it collided with the other party's long spear. With a bang, the entire sky was directly torn apart. The murderous intent on the long spear kept shattering, and it was consumed. Meanwhile, the great spear of destruction stopped in midair. Clearly, it had been blocked. But in just an instant, an even more terrifying aura descended again. Boom! It was like a black mountain pressing down. How could it be? The half-step Saint King's pupils constricted, and he hurriedly waved the white bone shield to block. With a clang, he felt his entire arm go numb, and he was forced back. However, a cold smile appeared on his face, because it had blocked him. Kid, did you see that? I blocked it. However, as soon as he finished speaking, his expression turned extremely ugly. Because Lin Xian did not say a word, and directly attacked with another Great Destruction spear. The power that could destroy everything once again slammed into his body and sent him flying. After 3 strikes, his entire arm was completely shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Otherwise, his white bone shield would have shattered as well. Half of his body had been completely shattered. You want to kill me? Do you think it's possible? Lin Xian mocked. The half-step Saint King's expression turned ugly. Damn it, how could the other party be so powerful? Originally, he thought that with his strength, he could suppress the other party. But now, it seemed that he couldn't do it. In the distance, the Saint King's expression also darkened. Brat, what's there to be arrogant about? If I want to kill you, it'll be as easy as flipping my hand. Lin Xian snorted coldly, holding the Great Destruction Spear in his hand, his expression disdainful. A cold voice sounded. You're a dignified saint ruler. Don't you find it embarrassing to say such things? If I were a saint king, I could kill you instantly with a single glance. I don't know what you're so arrogant about. Hearing this, that saint king was furious. Do you want to die? A cold murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Saint Emperor Wushuang snorted coldly. You want to kill my junior brother? You'll have to go through me first. The terrifying devouring law surged out from his body again. You don't know what's good for you. I wanted to let you live a little longer. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. That Saint King was completely enraged. A long sword appeared in his hand, and he directly attacked Saint King Wushuang. The two of them fought fiercely, and the terrifying power made everyone retreat. Attack! Lin Xian also roared at this moment. The 10 ultimate sword formation was fully activated, and all kinds of terrifying murderous intent and taiji diagrams flew out. Instantly, many people in the mortal world were split in half. And he directly charged towards that half-step holy king. There was no need to hold back. Kill without mercy. Peacock, Xingtian, Linghu Chuexue, and the others also attacked crazily. At this moment, they were going to fight with all their might. You're courting death. The half-step Saint King was furious. The other party actually wanted to attack him. Did they really think that he was easy to deal with? In the next moment, endless law appeared on his body, burning fiercely. It seemed that he wanted to fight with his life. Die! The long spear in his hand became even more terrifying. It was as if it had come alive. Instantly, some people from the temple vomited blood and were sent flying. He attacked with his long spear, and his aura was strong. It could be said that these people were the strongest below the Saint King. But unfortunately, he met Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also very strong. He roared, and the power in his body exploded. His entire body was extremely strong, and he used the Great Destruction Spear to the extreme. Boom! B5. Boom! Lin Xian roared, like a peerless savage god. With one attack, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The opponent's long spear was directly destroyed, and that person also turned into a bloody mist. His face was full of fear. What was going on? How could the other party be so strong? Quickly, he retreated into the distance. Lin Xian's eyes shone with an extremely cold light. You still want to leave? I'll make you unable to reincarnate for 100 lifetimes. Lin Xian's aura was really too strong. He opened his Tianji divine eye, and 2 golden flames flew out, instantly enveloping the opponent's soul. The half-step Saint King's soul roared crazily. Damn it! But in the end, his soul was not destroyed, and he still managed to block it. Boy, so what if your soul is strong? I'm a half-step Saint King, and I already have the will of a Saint King. Can you block it? Just you wait, my companions will destroy both your body and soul. Is that so? Lin Xian began to use the Great Dragon Sword Soul, and the power poured into the Tianji Divine Eye. A shocking dragon roar sounded, and suddenly the power of the Tianji Divine Eye exploded. It instantly turned into 2 peerless sword lights, and slashed forward. It split the opponent's soul. No! Damn it, how could it be like this? The soul screamed, and his soul was completely destroyed. The surrounding people were all stunned. Especially the people in the human world, their faces became extremely ugly. A half-step Saint King died just like that. Damn it! Many people's faces turned cold. Even the Saint King leader in the sky looked extremely ugly. Because if such a person was trained, he would be another Saint King. But now, he had died, and was killed by a young man. How could he tolerate it? Die. The Saint King was ready to do it himself, and he slapped downward. His palm was bathed in flames, and he descended from the sky like a god. Not good. The people of the temple were shocked, and the people of Wushuang City were also in despair. Saint King Wushuang's eyes narrowed. He wanted to attack, but he was stopped by a sword. Chapter 43-54. It's over. Lin Wuti is dead for sure. The other people from the sacred city were the same. Lin Xian's face turned ugly. He took out 4 storage rings. There were countless treasures in them. He was going to use the great dragon sword soul at all costs. However, at this moment, heaven and earth were split open. A finger fell. It pierced through the terrifying hand. Boom! A terrifying aura spread out in all directions, causing everyone to stop fighting and look over in disbelief. What's going on? The people from the sacred city were stunned. The people from the mortal world were even more shocked. This time, their leader was a mid-stage Saint King. He was so strong that he could sweep through everything. Now, there was someone who could stop him. Who was it? Who was it? The leader of the sacred kings shouted angrily. His eyes pierced through the world. Mortal world, stop. At this moment, an aged voice resounded. Was someone coming out? The eyes of the sacred kings shone with terrifying light. The reincarnation protector's eyes also shrunk. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Was he coming out? Under everyone's gaze, a figure walked out of the void. It was an old man. He looked very simple, but no one dared to look down on him. It was this old man who had easily blocked the sacred venerate leader's attack. Who are you? The leader of the mortal world said coldly. He was also shocked. He realized that he couldn't see through this person. The old man didn't say anything. However, the people from the sacred palace all cried out in surprise. The old palace master. Lin Xian was also shocked. It was Xia Jiuyo. Wasn't he going to fall into a deep sleep? Why did he appear? Was it because of them? The reincarnation protector's eyes shone with cold light. It was like a divine flame. He stared at the figure in front of him. Xia Jiuyo. He muttered to himself. The people of the mortal world were also stunned. You are Xia Jiuyo from the immortal palace. Obviously, they had heard of this name before. Xia Jiuyo walked over and said, You are wrong. From now on, there is no immortal palace. We are the sacred palace. The people of the mortal world gasped. How dare you betray the immortals? Do you want to die? My life and death is none of your business. Xia Jiuyo's eyes also shone with a cold radiance. Although it only lasted for an instant before disappearing, everyone still felt their bodies trembling. It was as if they had encountered a ferocious beast that was about to come back to life. What are you trying to do? Are you sure you want to meddle in our affairs? This will cause the complete destruction of your divine palace. The leader said. Xia Jiuyo said, You're attacking the temple master now, so I can't just ignore it. With that, Xia Jiuyo looked at Lin Xian. Little brat, are you alright? Lin Xian's eyes turned red. Elder Xia. He knew that the reason why Elder Xia wanted to go into hibernation was that he had suffered some sort of injury, or that he didn't have much time left. It was impossible for such a person to use too much power. Now, was the other party going to make a move? He was afraid that the situation in the future would be even worse. As expected, the leader said, "You don't know the difference between life and death. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Men, kill him for me." There was an angry roar. Two sage kings walked out from afar. Their blood was boiling, and terrifying radiance shrouded the world. When the two of them attacked together, the heavens fell and the earth cracked. Everyone was stunned. This should be enough to wipe out everything. No one knew if the famous old man could withstand it. Die! One of them held a killing sword and slashed out. With one slash, the wind and clouds changed. The faces of the sage kings changed drastically. This slash was too powerful. The other person formed a seal with his palms and turned into a demonic beast that charged over. The power was equally terrifying. It was as if the primordial sword god had come back to life. The two of them attacked from the front and back, not holding back at all. Everyone was extremely nervous. Xia Jiuyo stood there without any intention of attacking. When the attacks of the two people engulfed him, he suddenly opened his eyes. In his eyes, there was a cold radiance. A ball of cold light flashed. Then, he opened his mouth and spoke a note. Boom! There seemed to be a celestial sound in the world. Suddenly, the attacks of the two sage kings were shattered. The two great sage kings were sent flying while vomiting blood. Countless large cracks appeared on their bodies. It nearly tore their bodies apart. With one strike, he had severely injured two great sage kings. Wasn't he too powerful? Everyone was stunned. What kind of strength had this old man reached? The sage king leader in the sky also narrowed his eyes. Attack again. This time, it was another 4 people who charged forward. The 4 sage kings formed a terrifying formation in the 4 directions of the world. When the 4 of them attacked, none of them could withstand it. However, Xia Jiuyo uttered another sound. Suddenly, the 4 of them turned into blood mist and fled frantically. Everyone was shocked by this scene. What kind of ability and means was this? Could it be that this guy had surpassed the Sage King level? They were all stunned. Xia Jiuyo's face turned pale and he even vomited a mouthful of blood. Old Xia, how are you? Lin Xian was extremely nervous. When the Sage King leader of the mortal world saw this scene, he laughed loudly. Xia Jiuyo, so what if you're strong? If I'm not wrong, you're nearing the end of your lifespan. How many more attacks can you make in such a state? Even if we have to exhaust you today, we'll exhaust you to death. The other Sage Kings also frowned. Indeed, Xia Jiuyo was too old. No one knew how long he had lived. He was probably at the end of his lifespan. If he attacked with his full strength, he might die today. Lin Xian frowned even more. He said, Old Xia, don't attack. I still have a way. Xia Jiuyo shook his head and smiled bitterly. I'm old. I'm not as good as I used to be. Back then, I could have killed them 10,000 times with a single glance. Everyone was shocked. No one doubted his words. However, a hero was past his prime. As his lifespan was nearing its end, his strength would decrease drastically. Perhaps this was Xia Jiuyo's current state. Don't worry. He's an old man who's about to die. I'll send him on his way today. A cold voice sounded. In the next moment, a lady flew over from the sky. The aura on her body was also extremely powerful. The faces of the Sage Kings turned ugly. Another Sage King in the middle stage had arrived. The other party had 2 great Sage Kings in the middle stage. They could defeat everything. Indeed, the leader of the Saint Kings from before also revealed a sinister smile. Great. Old man, do you think you can withstand it now? The two of them together could exhaust the other party to death. Damn it. Give me all your strength. Lin Xian roared. He was ready to use the great dragon sword soul. However, at this moment, a cold voice sounded from the sky. Chapter 43-55. Between heaven and earth, the wind and clouds changed, and several figures appeared in the 9 heavens. They suppressed everything, blocking the killing intent that filled the sky. Did someone else come? Countless people were shocked. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. Did the deity Dao Union's people come? That was great. There was hope. These people were specifically targeting the human world. Sure enough, the expressions of those people in the mortal world changed. Damn it. The deity Dao Union is truly like a lingering spirit. 10 more terrifying Saint Kings appeared between heaven and earth, suppressing the area. Everyone regained their hope. Lin Xian was also shocked. He also saw a few familiar faces. Among them was the old woman with a flower basket, the drunkard with a gourd on his back, and the old man with a sickle he had met in the true spirit world. The leader was a middle-aged scholar with a folding fan in his hand. He looked very weak, but no one dared to underestimate him. Why are there so many holy kings in the deity Dao Union? Linghu Chueshua and the others were all stunned. Said the peerless Saint King. They didn't belong to any saint city, nor did they belong to any holy land. In that case, it was the deity Dao Union's people. Lin Xian was also surprised. It seemed that it was very similar to the human world, because as long as one wore the human world's killing god mask, one could transform into a killing saint. These people all had multiple identities. Deity Dao Union, you finally appeared. However, do you think that with just you, you can contend against us? We've been wanting to get rid of you for a long time, the leader of the Holy Kings said coldly. Countless experts felt their scalps go numb. Facing the deity Dao Union, did these people of the mortal world still possess such confidence? Hearing this, the leader of the deity Dao Union, that middle-aged scholar, narrowed his eyes. Others may not know where you came from, but we know it very well. Today, it's time to make a move and eliminate all of you from this world. There was no need for it to exist in the human world. A sliver of chilling killing intent appeared on him when he reached the end. The saint rulers behind him also erupted with extremely terrifying light. This is the Jade Lake holy water that we just obtained from the Jade Lake. Perhaps it will be useful to you all. The bottle shone brightly, and the Jade Lake holy water inside fell from the 9 heavens. That's great. Peerless Saint King's eyes lit up. The Jade Lake holy water was an extremely precious treasure. Although it might not be able to cure their great sage corpse poison, it would at least improve their situation. Therefore, these people hurriedly absorbed it. When the people of the mortal world saw this scene, their expressions turned ugly. Hurry up and kill them all. A great battle broke out in an instant. It was incomparably terrifying. Lin Xian and the others were pushed far away. This was a battle between Saint Kings. However, there were 2 other places that were relatively safe. The first one was on Lin Xian's side because Xia Zhuoyo was standing there. Even the power of a Saint King could not affect it. The other was where the reincarnation protector was. Even if he stood there, no energy could get close to him. Lin Xian and the others watched the battle anxiously. In the end, they even made a move. After all, in the mortal world, other than the terrifying Saint Kings, there were more Saint Assassins. These people needed to be dealt with. Lin Xian also took a step forward when he saw the Saint Slayers charging at him. A cold light flashed in his eyes. At the same time, he roared. Deity Hall. Peerless City. Here. The people of Deity Hall walked out. The eyes of the geniuses of Peerless City also lit up. Lin Xian was not only the master of Deity Hall, but also the junior brother of Peerless Saint King. Now that Peerless Saint King was fighting, Lin Xian could command Peerless City. Kill! A cold voice rang out. The people of Peerless City and Deity Hall roared. Their auras were like a shocking storm, shooting up to the sky. Then, they quickly moved out. Lin Xian's body swayed. His 9-yang divine body shone brightly. He charged forward. The entire world was lit up. Everyone saw a golden giant that looked like a sun war god. The terrifying aura of flames swept out in all directions. What a terrifying physique. It was indeed a divine body. Countless exclamations rang out. The faces of the people of the mortal world turned cold and gloomy. Moreover, they realized that the people of Deity Hall cooperated well with each other. They could even form many formations. Although Peerless City's team did not cooperate well, each of them was extremely strong and could make up for their shortcomings. These two teams were under Lin Xian's control. When they attacked together, their power was extremely strong. Now, they knew why Lin Xian dared to fight against them in such a dangerous place. Damn it! Wang Jianyi's face turned ugly when he saw this. To be honest, he had been defeated by Lin Xian and wanted to take revenge. However, it seemed that the gap between him and Lin Xian was getting wider. No, I must get my hands on the Chaos Sword technique. Of course, the prerequisite was that he could survive this hunt. Lin Xian led countless experts and charged forward. Soon, the battle started again. The middle-aged scholar waved his hand. A blue frost appeared in his hand and spread out in all directions. Sensing this aura, the expressions of many Saint Kings changed. Even Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He felt that his 9-yang divine body was being suppressed. What a powerful frost aura. It seemed to be able to freeze everything. Buzz! As the fan was opened, a terrifying coldness filled the air, becoming even more terrifying. The leader of the mortal world said, "Indestructible frost fan." Damn it, you actually managed to cultivate it successfully. He was really shocked. In the next moment, he also let out a furious roar, and an extremely terrifying blood-red light appeared on his body. It turned into a lotus, and he directly swallowed it. Boom! A terrifying aura and law appeared on his body. The Saint King leader continuously formed hand seals. His terrifying killing intent was incomparable. A blood-red pagoda appeared in his hand, rising and falling continuously. Kill! The pagoda attacked. On the other side, the terrifying indestructible frost fan also flew out. The two forces exploded rapidly between heaven and earth. Not good, retreat quickly. The others retreated frantically. The power of these two peak sage kings was boundless. However, the moment this horrifying aura appeared, it quickly disappeared. More accurately, it was sealed in ice between heaven and earth. With a wave of the indestructible frost fan, everything was sealed in ice. That terrifying blood-red killing intent was also sealed in ice. Damn it! The leader of the Sage Venerate shrank his pupils. His expression turned extremely unsightly. He retreated quickly. However, frost also formed in his surroundings. There was even frost on his body, making his speed extremely slow. Boom! The leader roared furiously. The blood-red light on his body directly cracked. That horrifying energy destroyed the frost. However, a few terrifying wounds appeared on his body. Blood flowed out as he half knelt in the air. Is he injured? When the sage kings of the mortal world saw this scene, their pupils shrank. Their leader was actually injured. On the deity Tao Union side, the middle-aged scholar said indifferently when he saw this scene. With just your blood-red lotus, you cannot defeat my indestructible frost fan. Chapter 43-56. Damn it! That sage king leader gritted his teeth. Around him, the mysterious woman also walked out. He looked ahead and thought, you are indeed stronger than I imagined. However, if the two of us work together, you will not have an easy time either. You can give it a try. That middle-aged scholar snorted coldly. He also emitted an even more terrifying aura. Why? Do you still want to continue fighting? Don't forget that we are born assassins. If we want to make a move against you, we have an absolute advantage. The two sides faced off again. Both sides had suffered losses. If they continued, it would be even more difficult and tragic. The deity Tao Union was extremely strong. The immortal scholar alone could defeat the other party's leader. However, the other party seemed to have two leaders this time. Furthermore, what the other party said was correct. The people of the human realm were best at assassinations. They appeared and disappeared mysteriously. Furthermore, the sage kings of the holy city were all poisoned. If this dragged on, it would be even more dangerous. It looked like they had to end this battle quickly. At this moment, another figure walked out from the other side and said coldly. From the looks of it, it would be impossible to completely kill these people now. They could only find another opportunity. The moment these words were spoken, everyone turned their heads to look. Some people had cold expressions, especially those from the 7-star tower. They were surging with killing intent. This was because the person who spoke was a genius from their 7-star tower. Of course, it was the genius who returned from the buried Emperor Earth Star. The other party was the first sage king to use the great sage's corpse poison to kill them. Now that the other party appeared, how could they not be filled with killing intent? Xingyao, do you have anything to say? The mysterious woman looked at the young man. Xingyao said, "My lord, I have an idea." "Oh, say it." That mysterious woman nodded. Xingyao walked forward and looked forward. "I know that you are very strong, but our human realm is not to be trifled with. If we continue fighting, both sides will suffer even more losses. I think that you all do not wish to see such a scene. How about this? Let's have a battle. If we win, then let us leave calmly, and we won't do anything to you. If we lose, then we will give you the antidote. How about it?" The moment these words were spoken, the expressions of the deity Tao Union's people changed. That middle-aged scholar also said, "How do you want to fight?" It was very simple. Xingyao's eyes flashed. He pointed at Lin Xian. "Let me have a duel with him. I don't think you have any objections, right? One-on-one." Moreover, her heart was set on Lin Xian. The surrounding people were shocked. Some people let out a sigh of relief. Lin Xian was so powerful that he could even kill a half-step king. He had no problem dealing with Starshine. At this moment, Xingyao said, "Of course, for the sake of fairness, we are not allowed to use any pills or weapons. They could only rely on their own strength to fight. I think you should be able to do that." As soon as he said that, the faces of the people from the Divine Hall changed. The experts from the other holy cities also frowned. In that case, he would not be able to use the Saint King's weapon. Lin Xian's trump cards would be greatly reduced. This Xing Yao came back from the buried Emperor Star and his strength is extremely terrifying. If he did not use the martial Saint King's weapon, even a late-stage Holy Venerate would not be able to contend against him. Now, he actually wanted to challenge Lin Xian. Wasn't this clearly bullying? Some people clenched their teeth. Indeed, the deity Dao Union's people snorted coldly. A challenge is fine, but we can send someone else. However, Xing Yao said, no, this is a battle between the two of us. If you want, then this is a battle. If you are willing, then we can resolve this matter. The losses between our sides will be extremely small. If you do not agree, then let's fight. I have never feared anyone in the mundane world. Damn it. You dare to threaten us. The expressions of the deity Dao Union's people turned cold. However, that undying scholar said, young man, what do you think? Immediately, everyone looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, I will accompany you at any time. So what if he did not use the martial Saint King's weapon? Lin Xian had never feared anyone. Since the other party wanted to challenge him, then so be it. Could this fellow do it? Countless people felt doubtful. However, that undying scholar smiled and said, all right, let's do it this way, then. After saying that, his eyes flashed. His eyes flickered as he sent a voice projection. The people of the mundane world are especially despicable. Hence, their words cannot be completely trusted. If we win and they still want to make a move, then there will be another battle. Hence, we have to prepare in advance. I am prepared to use that magic skill. However, it will take too long. This battle can give me time to prepare. If they had retreated obediently, he could have spared their lives this time. Then I will give these holy kings a chance to heal. If they attack again, then I will deal with them completely, at all costs. The deity Dao Union's people nodded as well. Indeed, this time, they had made two plans. Honestly speaking, they did not particularly want to start a battle. After all, these people in the holy city were poisoned and were in extreme danger. It was better to deal with the poison first. If you want to fight, then bring it on. I hope you will keep your word. Lin Xian said coldly as he walked out. Xiao Chen would definitely win this battle. Furthermore, he would end it quickly. Very good. When Xing Yao saw this scene, he smiled as well. He looked at the two leaders. The two leaders nodded. Then, Xing Yao's figure flashed, and he walked forward. Seeing the other party walk over, Lin Xian said coldly, prepare your antidotes. It would be best if you can take them out immediately after I win. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Brat, you are too naive. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you killed a half-step holy king. Previously, you only relied on a holy king weapon. With your own strength, you are not qualified to say such words before me. I wonder, can Lin Xian win? The eyes of the surrounding people flickered. They all placed their hopes on Xiao Qin. As for those holy kings, they also made use of this opportunity to suppress their injuries. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Then, a sharp light suddenly burst out of his eyes. The nine-yang divine body released a bright light, and an extremely berserk energy burst out, sweeping through the surroundings. Clearly, Xiao Chen planned to use his full strength, not holding back at all. He was like a god of war. On the other side, Xing Yao smiled coldly as well. He formed hand seals, and beams of starlight quickly gathered, instantly forming a starry sky chart. Then, he ruthlessly smashed it forward. Kid, fighting with me is the biggest mistake you've ever made. Now, you can go and die. Xing Yao did this for two reasons. First, he wanted to protect the world. Second, he wanted to use this battle to kill Lin Xian. Chapter 43-57. Lin Xian's expression turned incomparably cold as he stretched out his palm. The golden palm formed a seal like that of a human king. A terrifying sound rang out between heaven and earth. Then, it slapped forward as well. Boom! The collision of the two gave off a thunderous sound that reverberated between heaven and earth. The sound caused the surrounding experts to feel their blood boil. Some of the young geniuses felt their scalps go numb. This kind of attack was really too strong. It was beyond their expectations. However, those sage kings opened their eyes wide as they stared ahead. Between heaven and earth, time seemed to have come to a standstill. Everyone saw a strange hand seal pressing on the starry sky map. The two of them stopped in the sky. So this is what you want to challenge me by name. Your strength is only so-so. You are still far from being able to kill me. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he stared ahead. The corners of his mouth curled up in a cold smile. On the other side, Xing Yao gave off an extremely terrifying light. Is that so? Let's wait and see. Very soon, I will make you despair. The power between the two of them erupted once more. Then, the two of them quickly retreated. Countless laws spread out between them, spreading out in all directions. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they were extremely shocked. They were evenly matched. It was really hard to believe. However, the people in the mortal realm had extremely cold expressions. One had to know that Xing Yao was not an ordinary genius. He could not even be considered part of the younger generation. After all, he was a genius of the previous generation and had entered the buried Emperor Star. As someone who had returned from the buried Earth Star, his strength was extremely terrifying. Thinking about it, how could the people from the second astral realm block him? However, someone had actually blocked Xing Yao's attack. The people from the deity Dao Union heaved a sigh of relief. To be honest, they had been worried for Lin Xian. However, from the looks of it, Lin Xian's strength had far exceeded their expectations. In the sky, Xing Yao stood there with a cold expression. His arm was somewhat numb. He looked ahead. A piercingly cold light burst out from it. Was this the legendary divine body? It was indeed strong enough to allow the other party to have such strength. One had to know that his cultivation was much higher than the other party's. However, the other party was still able to block his attack. This should be the power of the divine body. However, so what? Xing Yao's strength was not limited to this. If the other party only had this bit of strength, then he could only say that this was the end of the game. Humph. Xing Yao coldly snorted and formed hand seals. The surrounding laws spread out in all directions. Heaven and earth trembled as the void shattered. Starlight fell from the outer space. It was as if the entire sky was about to be torn apart. An extremely terrifying power of the stars was rapidly converging towards him. What technique was this? How terrifying! The expressions of the surrounding geniuses changed. Even the sage's pupils constricted. How terrifying, as expected of someone who came back from the buried Emperor Star. Lin Xian frowned as well. He had to admit that the other party was indeed much stronger than those he had encountered before. After all, he was someone who had experienced the buried Emperor Star and managed to return alive. However, the other party was underestimating him too much. Although he hadn't been to the buried Emperor Star and wasn't a late-stage expert, so what? His battle strength was not inferior to anyone. Brat, you relied on your powerful physique to block my attack. That really surprised me. However, I can tell you that this is the end of everything. Because at this moment, no one under the Sage Ruler realm is my match. You are no exception. Boom. Along with his voice, a vast and terrifying sound came from heaven and earth. The stars in the sky formed a starry sword that emitted an unparalleled aura. Along with his movement, the starry sword grew larger and bloomed with terrifying light. There were ancient Tao runes on it that were spreading. As his arm fell, the starry sword in the sky also slowly fell. An extremely powerful force descended from the sky. Countless people felt this scene and their expressions turned grave. Indeed, it was too terrifying for anyone under the Sage Ruler realm to block this move. Mortal world. The corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. It seemed that this battle was over. The other party was definitely going to die. They all breathed a sigh of relief. This was because Lin Xian was on their must-kill list as well as the Saint Rulers that they wanted to capture in one fell swoop. They would not allow someone who had been abandoned by the heavens to live. What a terrifying sword intent. Lin Xian also had a grave expression. He naturally felt the powerful force that the starry sword brought. This was the power of the starry sky outside the realm. It was incomparably vast. He took a deep breath and his eyes bloomed with a piercing cold light. Then, his physique became even more terrifying. A trace of killing intent bloomed in his eyes. He circulated the Tiger Clan's breathing technique. As he breathed in and out, it spread out in all directions like thunder. The eyelids of the surrounding people twitched violently. They felt a berserk power surging out in all directions. It was obvious that Lin Xian had also used some powerful techniques. Boom! The laws of heaven and earth danced and thunder rumbled. The terrifying void was constantly being torn apart. Lin Xian, on the other hand, swung his fist and pushed forward. Tiger Demon Fist. A terrifying and ferocious aura spread out in all directions. Lin Xian's fist, which was originally golden, was now covered with black veins. They kept spreading out. The power coming from the veins caused the expressions of countless people to change. What kind of fist technique was this? It was too terrifying. Was this brat really just a middle-stage Holy Venerate? Why do I feel that even a late-stage Holy Venerate cannot do this? As expected of the Middle Emperor of the past, an exceptional genius. Some people were incomparably shocked. Those young geniuses were even more flabbergasted. On the other side, when Xingyao saw this scene, his expression also became incomparably grave. Could the other party also execute such a powerful attack? Although the other party had not made a move yet, the aura from the other party still shocked him. Damn it! It seemed that he had to use some more techniques. Thinking of this, he formed hand seals again. The void above his head kept breaking apart. Once again, endless starlight condensed and turned into a starry sky sword. The power that the sword carried swept out in all directions. One starry sword was not enough to kill the other party. In that case, he would use another one. He did not believe that the other party could block two swords at the same time. The pupils of the surrounding experts constricted. The sage rulers were also stunned. No way. This Xingyao could actually summon a starry sword. Chapter 43-58. Kid, it's all over now. Under countless shocked gazes, Xingyao waved the starry sky sword in his hand. The two starry sky swords pressed down from the sky and slashed forward. Roar! Lin Xian's fist let out a tiger's roar. Then, those black fists with destructive power also pushed out. When the two collided, a shocking power and law swept through the 9 heavens. Everyone opened their eyes wide and looked carefully. They wanted to see if the expert who came back from the buried Emperor Star was stronger or if the top genius of their holy city was stronger. In the sky, countless people watched nervously. The two peerless divine abilities collided in an instant. Then, a desolate-like power burst out and quickly swept in all directions. The surrounding palaces and heaven and earth were all shattered in an instant. Nothing could stop this shocking power. The mortal world's killing saints had grave expressions. To be honest, they recognized Xing Yao's power very much. When Lin Xian dared to make a move, they didn't care about him at all. But now, it seemed that he did have the qualifications to be arrogant. The sage kings of the holy city were also nervous to the extreme. This battle concerned their fates. They didn't expect that one day, their fate would be in the hands of a young man. Under everyone's anxious gazes, the two rays of light kept retreating and then collided again. Heavens, Lin Xian's fist technique actually blocked the two starry sky swords. Countless people cried out in surprise when they saw this scene. In the sky, Xing Yao's face became incomparably cold. His expression was even somewhat sinister. This scene was completely out of his expectations. In his opinion, he could easily kill his opponent with the two starry sky swords. But he didn't expect that. He didn't have the upper hand. That was because the terrifying fist technique used by his opponent was also incomparably terrifying. They were evenly matched. But he couldn't accept it. He was already a peak Saint Venerate. He was much stronger than his opponent. Moreover, he had returned from the buried Emperor Star. His strength was terrifying. Logically speaking, after he returned, he should be able to sweep through everything. But now, he was blocked by someone. Damned guy, could it be that he used some secret technique? Or, did he secretly eat some elixir in advance? Just as his expression was sinister, he suddenly felt the power in front of him change again. It turned out that Lin Xian's fist had turned into a fierce tiger and was coming at him. And on his left hand, an incomparable sword chi flickered. The terrifying sword chi also let out a dragon's roar that resounded through the 9 heavens. It actually slashed it again. Boom! It was like a divine dragon came back to life. When the starry sky swords collided, an apocalyptic shockwave swept out in all directions. Not good, retreat. The surrounding people frantically retreated. This energy was enough to threaten them. The sage kings were also shocked. A shattering sound rang out between the heavens and the earth. The two giant swords shattered amidst the dragon's roar. Countless sword lights and laws flew in all directions. Xing Yao snorted coldly and quickly dodged the attack with his starry sky map. At the same time, he looked in all directions, probably looking for another opportunity to attack. However, he did not find any trace of Lin Xian, which surprised him. What's going on? Could it be that Lin Xian had fallen in the impact of the laws? He was secretly delighted, but he didn't quite believe it. Lin Xian's body was a divine body. He shouldn't have fallen so easily. Sure enough, Xian's pupils shrank in the next moment. He felt the void behind him suddenly tear open, and a fist came at his head. Not good, he felt his hair stand on end. A starry sky chart quickly appeared behind him. It was like a cage that shrouded the area behind him. He quickly turned around and swung his sword again. Boom! The one who came out from behind was naturally Lin Xian. He used the void escape technique to avoid the attacks that filled the sky. He appeared behind Xian's back and then used the tiger demon fist again. The black fist once again hit the starry sky chart, making a deafening sound. The starry sky chart kept shaking as if it was trying to dissolve the power. However, the power was really too strong. No matter how mysterious the starry sky chart was, it still cracked and then shattered. It only happened in an instant, but it was enough for an expert. For example, Xingyao had already obtained enough time. He turned around, and the stars in his eyes were extinguished. "Kid, you actually dare to attack me? You really don't know what's good for you." His eyes burst out with biting cold killing intent. Then, terrifying starlight shone from his body. His power completely erupted and swept through the surroundings. At this moment, his body actually blossomed with a bright radiance, and it also became incomparably mysterious. Was this the star body? He actually succeeded. In the distance, the seven-star Saint King of the seven-star tower cried out in surprise when he saw this scene. Obviously, Lin Xian didn't have such a body before he left. It seemed that he had obtained it from the buried Emperor Star. That's right, it was the star body. After displaying his super strong body, Xingyao regained his confidence. "Kid, what do you have to contend with me now?" The star body was an extremely terrifying body. It might not be comparable to the legendary super strong body, the nine-yang divine body. However, Xingyao was a peak sacred venerate after all. His cultivation of the body far surpassed everything else. Therefore, he could use his cultivation to make up for the difference in the body. He was confident that no one could contend with him. "Kid, everything can end now." Xingyao waved his fists and palms, continuously striking out. It was as if 10,000 stars had appeared. Every strike caused a black hole to appear in the sky. The surrounding experts of the older generation felt their scalps go numb. In such a tense situation, it was likely that no one would dare to compete with Xingyao in terms of body. Lin Xian was also surprised. Previously, he could tell that Xingyao was borrowing the power of the stars. What he cultivated was the law of stars, a super strong divine ability. However, such a person's body shouldn't be too strong. But now, he discovered that he was wrong. Xingyao actually also possessed a super strong body. The power of his close combat was also incomparably strong. In the next moment, the nine-yang divine body blossomed with light again. The flames on it burned fiercely and turned into 10,000 suns. Then, like a golden crow, it spread its wings and soared. The divine flames that filled the sky swept out in all directions and collided with the vast starlight. Xingyao's palm also struck out. Boom! Then, it collided with Xingyao's star palm once again. After that, the two of them attacked again. In an instant, tens of thousands of attacks rumbled. The void was torn apart like a canvas. The two of them fought from the sky to the ground. The surrounding people were all stunned. The expressions of the people of the mortal world became somewhat unsightly. Xingyao had already unleashed his star body. Yet, he was still unable to do anything to Xingyao. Chapter 43-59. Kid, you've completely angered me. How can a mere ant like you contend against my starlight? Go to hell. Xingyao's eyes were filled with killing intent as he formed a seal with his palms. Then, an extremely terrifying light appeared. Above his palm, a star appeared. It was like a mirage of a world as it smashed forward. Boom! Lin Xian waved his palm to resist. However, at this moment, he was sent flying. He felt his arm go numb. It was as if this strike was really a world of stars that had landed on his body. It made him spit out a mouthful of blood. What was going on? Was Lin Xian injured? Was he going to lose? When the surrounding people saw this scene, they all exclaimed in surprise. That was impossible. That was the nine-yang divine body. How terrifying was that? However, some people sighed. Although the divine body was strong, it was still 2 realms weaker than the opponent. To be able to hold on until now was enough to show the strength of the 9-yang divine body. However, the opponent also had a super strong starry sky body. With the starlight of all the realms, he could sweep through everything. As expected, ants couldn't even withstand a single blow. Everyone in the human world revealed a smile. It seemed that this battle was over. After killing the opponent, they would leave this place and prepare for the next assassination plan. Although they couldn't kill all these people this time, the effect was not bad. At least these sage kings were all poisoned. First it was the curse, then it was the great sage's corpse poison. These people's strength was greatly reduced and they probably wouldn't be able to recover in a short time. They just needed to plan carefully again and they could send all these people to hell next time. However, their smiles soon disappeared. Because they saw Lin Xian, who was sent flying while spitting out blood, walk over again. The other party's face was calm and expressionless. This gave them a bad feeling. What was going on? Wasn't he already injured? Why was he still so calm? Could it be that he still had some trump cards? Deliberately mystifying. Xing Yao snorted when he saw this scene. No matter what the other party used, he was not afraid. His strength had completely surpassed the other party. Not to mention one Lin Xian, even if these geniuses of the holy city were to attack together, they would still be able to contend against him. Because he came from the buried Emperor Star. It was enough to sweep through everything. But very quickly, he frowned because he felt a bone-chilling aura. A beam of sword aura appeared on Lin Xian's body and shrouded him. Then, the sword qi flew in all directions, forming a world of sword Dao. It floated on Lin Xian's body. And this danger came from the sword qi. What a terrifying sword qi. When the people from Yellow Springs saw this scene, their faces turned cold as well. Even the people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sucked in a breath of cold air. They were the holy land of Sword Dao, but at this moment, the opponent's sword seemed to be even stronger than theirs. Sacred King Divine Ghost looked at this scene with greed in his eyes. Wan Jianyi, on the other hand, had a look of fear on his face. However, they managed to cover it up very well. The people of the mortal world also frowned. Damn it, this brat still had a trump card. And it was such a biting cold sword intent. Their expressions became incomparably cold. No wonder he was able to get on their kill order. Such a person was already so terrifying when he was only at the middle stage of the Saint Venerable realm. If he was allowed to grow, perhaps in the future, even sacred kings would not be able to suppress him. Between heaven and earth, everyone felt fear because of this biting cold sword intent. Lin Xian was indeed very calm. He felt that his body was full of power. The previous attack had indeed injured him and shocked him. But so what? His opponent had a trump card, but his trump card was stronger. He slowly raised his palm, and endless sword qi condensed in his hand. A sword light shone through the 9 heavens and 10 earths, and then slashed forward. Not good. Xing Yao's pupils shrank. He felt a fatal danger, so he did not resist. His body turned into a ray of starlight and instantly disappeared into the sky. A crack appeared where he was originally standing. It spread into the distance. Lin Xian's gaze was very light, and his cold voice sounded. It's useless, you can't escape. I'll let you see my sword world. As he spoke, the sword qi on his body erupted, completely enveloping the entire world. At this moment, it turned into a world of sword qi. Boundless sword qi swept in all directions. Wherever the void was, it kept shattering, and there was no way to dodge. As expected, Xingyao discovered that the starry sky movement technique that he was so proud of seemed to have lost its effect at this moment. No matter where he hid, the sword chi could tear the void apart, and he could only passively defend. He roared angrily, took a deep breath, and the starry sky chart appeared again. And this time, it had an even more biting cold aura. The Xiantian Starry Sky Chart. The terrifying starry sky chart spread in all directions, forming a world of stars. It looked like it had turned into a universe, and it collided with the sword chi that filled the sky. Kill! With a roar, Xingyao went all out and charged over aggressively. The two collided again, as if two worlds were fighting. The terrifying power caused the people outside to be unable to breathe. However, what was surprising was that in just an instant, cracks appeared on the Xiantian Starry Sky Chart. And it spread to the surroundings. Crack! A crisp sound rang out, and the starry sky suddenly shattered into pieces, scattering all over the ground. The surrounding people were stunned. Did the starry sky break through? That frightening sword aura pierced through the stars in the sky and ruthlessly slashed toward Xingyao. Not good. The pupils of the people in the human world shrank. If they were hit by such a terrifying sword chi, not many people below the Saint King level could withstand it. Xingyao was probably in danger, unless he could use a special saint weapon. But previously, they had to prevent Lin Xian from using the Saint King Wu. They had already set the rules. Wu was not allowed. They didn't expect that they would shoot themselves in the foot now. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out, and then the world shattered. Blood dripped from the 9 heavens, piercing through the void. Everyone was shocked. He was injured. The faces of the people in the human world became extremely ugly. Those Saint King's gazes pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Sure enough, they found that it was Xingyao who was injured. Even though Xingyao used the starry sky physique with all his strength, he still couldn't block it. Many sword marks appeared on his body, and he flew into the distance like a kite with a broken string. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying roar lasted for a long time before it slowly dissipated. When the sword chi disappeared, everyone saw Lin Xian standing there with his hands behind his back. Sword Dao world surrounded him like a supreme sword god. On the opposite side, Xingyao was bleeding, and his body was covered in wounds. Chapter 4360. Did he win? The people from the Divine Palace heaved a sigh of relief. The people from the Sacred City also clenched their fists. It seems that this time, the people from the human world could retreat. However, in the sky, Xingyao suddenly opened his eyes. His expression became incomparably malevolent. Brat, I didn't expect you to have such sword intent. Although you injured me, you didn't kill me. I will let you know how powerful I am. Do you think that I spent all these years in the buried Emperor Star in vain? I will let you see my harvest in the buried Emperor Star. One move. I only need one move to deal with you. What? He still wants to fight. When the surrounding people heard this, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. They could already see that Xingyao's astral body had been completely broken. He was definitely seriously injured and would not be able to recover in a short period of time. However, Xingyao did not stop. He even said that he would kill Lin Xian in one move. The leader of the human world coldly snorted. Is he finally going to use that move? I didn't expect it to come to this. However, since Xingyao was able to use that move, this brat can die in peace. Lin Xian frowned. Is he still going to attack? In the next moment, his pupils shrank. That was because he saw that Xingyao had gathered all the power in his body and fused it between his eyebrows. Moreover, a crack appeared between his eyebrows. A ray of starlight flickered from within. That starlight was extremely resplendent and covered all the light. It seemed to have become the only thing in the world. Northern starlight slash. Along with the appearance of the starlight, an ice-cold voice rang out. Then, the northern starlight between his eyebrows flew out and turned into a peerless saber light that slashed forward. When this ray of starlight appeared, Xingyao swayed and almost fell to the ground. It seemed that he had used up all his strength to use this move. The northern starlight flew out, slashing through the void and shattering the earth. It seemed to shake the 9 heavens and 10 earths. This power was really too terrifying. The expressions of the surrounding experts changed. A secret technique. It was too strong. If he didn't use the sacred King Wu, those below the sacred King realm would not be able to resist it. Their eyes were filled with despair. They felt that Lin Xian would not be able to resist it and would definitely die. Next, the human world would leave calmly. They only needed to reorganize a little and these people would be able to come back again. At that time, would the poison in their bodies be cured? It's all over. You can go to hell for me. Xingyao's face was pale, but he still had a sinister smile on his face. On the other side, Lin Xian's expression was also incomparably solemn when he felt this powerful aura. Final trump card. He was indeed powerful. It seemed that he had to use his trump card as well. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath, and the sword Dao world around him continued to evolve. Streaks of dragon-shaped sword chi flew out and gathered in his palm, forming the shadow of a dragon. 10 extremities dragon soul sword. The 10 extinction swords merged with the dragon's soul and slashed forward. This kid's sword seemed to have become more powerful than before. When the surrounding people felt this scene, they all exclaimed in shock. The pupils of the people in the human world also shrank. That was impossible. However, they had no time to think. The two attacks collided once again, and holy light filled the sky. This was simply an apocalyptic scene. The eyes of those Saint Kings flickered. They were afraid that this would end after this attack. They wondered who would win in the end. Crack. Originally, Xingyao had a sinister smile on his face. He thought that his opponent would definitely die with his powerful attack. However, the scene in front of him made his face full of shock. The smile on his face suddenly froze. This was because he discovered that cracks had appeared on the northern star slash in front of him. Then, with a cracking sound, it directly split open. Impossible. His most powerful superpower had actually been shattered. No. At this moment, his pride and confidence were all gone. It was as if glass had shattered on the ground. His eyes were filled with intense fear. He used the last bit of his remaining strength and quickly retreated. Facing Lin Xian, he was finally terrified. However, he couldn't escape at all. Between heaven and earth, the sharp sword chi shrouded him, and the cracks on it became even more terrifying. He was torn apart. Boom! Roar! Sir, save me! In the sky full of sword chi, a crazy roar sounded. The surrounding people were stunned. Had he lost? On the opposite side, the people of the mortal world narrowed their eyes when they saw this scene. They saw the northern star slash shatter. Not only that, even Xingyao was torn apart. It seemed that his soul was also threatened. Humph! The Saint King leader snorted coldly with a sharp light in his eyes. He reached out a large hand and grabbed in front of him. It seemed that he wanted to make a move. After all, They had painstakingly nurtured Xingyao and spent a lot of resources. It wasn't easy for him to reach this stage. If he died, they wouldn't be able to bear it. Oh no, have those Saint Slayers made a move? Seeing this scene, countless people exclaimed. No matter how strong Lin Xian was, he couldn't block the attack of a Saint King. At this moment, Xia Jiuyo let out a sound of heaven and earth and instantly shattered the large palm. Lin Xian let out a piercingly cold radiance as he let out a roar. The dragon's soul erupted and a terrifying destructive sword intent slashed down. No! Xingyao let out a miserable cry. He wanted to escape, but in the end, his soul was destroyed. His entire body and soul were destroyed. Damn it, how dare you! The Saint Kings of the mortal world roared crazily. Did the other party really kill Xingyao? Damn it! Their hearts were bleeding. In an instant, many people exuded a terrifying killing intent that pierced through the 9 heavens. In an instant, 6 Saint Kings attacked Lin Xian together. Do you have a death wish? I knew you wouldn't be satisfied. Immortal Scholar snorted coldly and the indestructible frost fan flew out and shot out a monstrous frost that swept over. On the other side, the people from the sacred land also made a move. Ga. They all appeared in front of Lin Xian and blocked the terrifying superpower. Little guy, go back first. Lin Xian nodded and returned to Xia Jiuyo's side. At the same time, the corner of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. In the mortal world, you're considered the top existences. As a Saint King, do you not keep your word? I've already won this competition. Hurry up and hand over the antidote to the great sage corpse poison. Humph, kid, you actually dared to kill the person we've painstakingly nurtured. You're dead meat. No one in the 9 heavens and 10 earths can save you. And let me tell you, there's no antidote to the great sage corpse poison. All of you, just wait for death. At this point, they all laughed sinisterly. Attack! The 2 Saint Kings roared and wanted to attack. Immortal Scholar snorted coldly. As expected of despicable and shameless people. Since that's the case, I can't let you live. At this point, endless blue Dao runes appeared on his body and an array formation appeared under his feet. It instantly spread out in all directions. In an instant, the world was frozen. Chapter 43-61. The expressions of the mortal realm sage kings changed. This icy aura was the indestructible cold sky formation. Damn it! When did you set it up? The mortal realm sage kings were simply too shocked. This was the legendary formation that sealed everything in ice. Even sage kings would find it hard to escape. However, this formation had a flaw. It required a very long time to prepare. Furthermore, once it was set up, it could not be kept for too long. Hence, it could only be used in battle. However, in battle, the enemy would not give it a chance. Unexpectedly, the other party actually managed to lay out the indestructible cold sky formation. Ice Scholar, I really underestimated you. However, it will not be that easy for you to kill us. Just wait. The mortal realm will descend once more. Let's go. After speaking, the people of the mortal realm quickly retreated. You want to leave? Ice sealing the world. The indestructible cold sky formation erupted, and the entire world froze. The people of the mortal realm even formed ice, sealing the world in ice. This is great. The deity Dao Union's people all revealed smiles. However, just at this moment, there was the sound of ice shattering. Suddenly, a lotus flower appeared on the people of the mortal realm. The black lotus flower directly bloomed and broke through the ice. Then, those lotus flowers withered. However, the people of the mortal realm had already vanished. What's going on? Did they leave? The deity Dao Union's people showed unsightly expressions. Damn it! Did the person behind the other party make a move? Lin Xian frowned. It was another black lotus flower. Right now, Xiao Chen was extremely certain that the mortal realm had a close connection with the black lotus flower. One day, Xiao Chen would personally destroy the mortal realm and find out who the master behind the black lotus flower was. Did they leave? Were we saved? Those Holy Land geniuses all released their bated breaths, feeling like they had just survived a calamity. Those sage kings also released their bated breaths. There was no helping it. Several sage kings had already fallen. Some were even severely injured. Indeed, that was the case. On the Azure Sea Pavilion side, the Azure Sea Sovereign's complexion also turned incredibly pale. The earlier battle had severely injured the Azure Sea Sovereign. Master! The Azure Sea Sovereign clenched his teeth. The situation was extremely bad. He probably had to immediately enter closed-door cultivation. Once that happened, their Azure Sea Palace would be leaderless. Not only them, but even the holy kings from the Joyous Union Hall and Seven-Star Pavilion would have to enter seclusion immediately. The people from the Kunlun Pavilion walked out and said, "I can help you get some more jade pool water, but I don't know if it will be effective." At this time, the Frost Scholar also walked out and said, "As long as the world of men doesn't get rid of the world will be destroyed." The second astral realm and even the myriad realms were in danger. Therefore, from now on, no holy city-level battles were allowed in the second astral realm. If any holy city wants to make a move, then don't blame us for being impolite. Just like that, a shocking battle came to an end. However, everyone's heart was very heavy. After all, as long as the world was not destroyed, they would be in danger. Furthermore, the human world was extremely mysterious. No one knew where their sect was located. Therefore, even if these people wanted to take revenge, they didn't know where to start. He could only wait for the other party. Next time, find someone. The door opened. It seemed that the most important thing now was to get rid of the poison. You can go to the Jade Lake when the time comes. The Jade Lake holy water there is very mysterious. The people of the deity Dao Union said a few words and then left. Some of these people also have a baby. Clearly, they also hid their identities. Even if they revealed their faces, it was probably after they changed their appearances. These people were like guardian deities. They would not appear normally. Once there was danger, they would instantly make a move. Now that the world of men left, they had to be nervous again. Xia Zhuoyou's face turned even paler. Clearly, using his strength earlier had consumed a lot of his energy. Lin Xian said, "Old Xia, quickly go and rest. There shouldn't be any danger here." Lin Xian felt that the best way for Xia Zhuoyou now was to enter the divine crystal and sleep. Xia Zhuoyou said, "All right, be careful here." After saying that, he also disappeared. On the other side, the reincarnation protector and the others also left. Only the shattered ground and the cracked sky remained. The immemorial grotto originally held a grand event. However, now it was a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. Countless experts and geniuses died. Most of the people in the world of men were from the holy lands and holy cities. Every holy city was bleeding. Peerless Holy King stared at the immemorial grotto and said coldly, "There's no such coincidence in the world. You'd better give us an explanation." Once he said that, many holy kings stared at the immemorial grotto. Holy King Spirit Yen snorted. What? You still suspect that I'm in cahoots with the world of men? Don't forget that we also suffered heavy losses. Even my grandson was killed. That's right, don't slander me. Holy King Silver Corpse also walked out, emitting a cold aura. Peerless Holy King and the others said, whether it's true or not, I don't need to say more. You'd better be careful in the future. The other Holy Kings also gasped. It seemed that they had to stay away from the immemorial grotto and Acheron Palace in the future. Alright, let's go to the Jade Pool. Use the holy water there to detoxify the poison. Holy King Kunlun stood up and said coldly. His face was also incomparably pale. The other Holy Kings nodded and left together. After all, who knew if the people of the world of men would come back again? Lin Xian and the others also left with them. In an instant, the surroundings quieted down. However, there were still some people who did not leave. Among them, other than the immemorial grotto and Acheron Palace, there were also 10,000 Sword Pavilion and Great Desolate Mansion. At this moment, the people of Great Desolate Mansion were incomparably gloomy. Even the void broke open and another figure walked out. It was also a holy king. However, it was obvious that he was older. He said, "What's going on? Didn't you say that there was no danger? How could my junior brother have fallen?" This old man was actually Holy King Desolate Heaven's senior brother. At this moment, his expression was incomparably cold. 10,000 Sword Pavilion's Holy King Divine Ghost also frowned. They had also suffered heavy losses in this battle. However, Holy King Spirit Yen said, "Why are you so anxious? It's not like he's really fallen." After saying that, he formed a hand seal and quickly transmitted his voice to the void. Alright, the people of the deity Dao Union have left. You can come out now. After a while, two figures appeared between heaven and earth. One was that mysterious woman, and the other was also a holy king. He wore a black robe that covered his face. At this moment, he gritted his teeth and said, "Damn it, I didn't expect them to escape even after such meticulous preparations. It's nothing. This time, we'll severely injure them. Next time, we can take them down one by one." Chapter 4362. The black-robed Sage King nodded. With a flip of his hand, a blood-red flag appeared in the sky. The flag fluttered and an endless sea of blood appeared. Figures appeared one after another. They were all enveloped by the sea of blood. At this moment, they all had pained expressions. Among them, there were a few terrifying figures. They were the souls of the Sage Kings. There was also one who cried out, "Grandpa, save me." He was Shi Yunhu. At this moment, the black-robed Sage King waved his hand and Shi Yunhu's soul was released. At the same time, another person's soul was released. The desolate heaven Saint King roared as soon as he appeared. His shattered body rapidly healed. Then, he appeared again. However, his aura was clearly much weaker than before. Damn it! Was there a need to act so seriously? Sage King Huang Tian's expression was cold. This time, he was severely injured. He would need a long time to recover. Sage King Yan Ling said, "Fellow Daoist, you've suffered. However, if you didn't do this, how would we believe you?" Even so, he was still suspicious. Shi Yunhu was also released. He gritted his teeth and said, "Grandpa, you must kill that Lin Xian. I want to tear him into pieces." "Don't worry. There will be plenty of chances." Sage King Yan Ling's eyes shone with a cold light. "Damn it. Let us out." Countless roars could be heard. Among them, there were two extremely terrifying voices. These were the souls of two sage kings. They were sealed in the sea of blood. One of them was the Thunder Sage King and the other was the Giant Spirit Sage King from the Spirit Gathering Pavilion. The two of them were furious. The Black-Robed Sage King laughed. "You want to come out? Impossible. Just stay in there obediently. Don't worry. We'll teach you how to become puppets. We won't waste your energy." "Damn it!" the Giant Spirit Sage King roared. The Thunder Sage King said, "Thunder Sage City and Wishwang City have a grudge too. Let me out and we'll work together. How about that?" Hearing this, the Silver Corpse Sage King laughed coldly. "I know that you guys have a grudge too. However, since you're already like this, then be obedient and let me use you. I'll turn you into a puppet and we can work together." "Damn it. I'll kill you," the Thunder God Saint King roared. However, he was restrained by a mysterious force and was unable to escape. The Black-Clothed Saint King said, "Don't waste your energy. This saint weapon is beyond your imagination. You won't be able to escape." With that, he flipped his hand, and the blood-red flag disappeared into the sky. The sea of blood and the souls disappeared as well. On the other side, the injured Saint Kings had all arrived at the Jade Lake sacred ground. The Jade Lake sacred leader personally received them and opened the Jade Lake for them to enter. Given the current situation, they had to work together because the world of mortals was not only affecting the holy city of the second astral realm. Even the sacred grounds of the true spirit world were affected. Therefore, they had to work together to resist the human world. This had happened before. This would happen once every tens of thousands of years. Even more than 100,000 years ago, there was once a top-notch holy land that joined forces to fight against the human world. That time, the human world suffered a heavy blow and went into hibernation for nearly 100,000 years. This time, there would probably be another earth-shaking battle. The Saint Lords all entered. They were extremely grateful. At this moment, these holy masters were sitting cross-legged in the Jade Lake, forming hand seals with their palms. They were using the Jade Lake to fight against the great sage's corpse poison within their bodies. However, they still had to suppress the curse. It could be said that they were extremely weak. On the peerless Saint King's side, the law of Devour was constantly floating behind him. Lin Xian walked over and asked, "Senior brother, how is it?" The peerless Saint King said, "It was effective, but it was very slow. It would be troublesome for him to recover completely in a short period of time." Lin Xian took a deep breath and said, "Senior brother, let me remove the curse for you first." After he finished speaking, he sat down cross-legged and unleashed the Great Dragon Sword Soul. His energy surged into the Great Dragon Sword. The curse in his body had been completely removed. Moreover, he had helped the Green Mountain Sacred King remove the curse before. Therefore, he was very familiar with it. The Great Dragon Sword Soul's energy entered the peerless Saint King's body and began to remove the curse. This scene was naturally seen by the others. Instantly, there was a lot of discussion. No way. Lin Xian was going to remove the poison from the peerless Saint King's body. How could a middle Saint Master like him help a Saint King? The young geniuses did not believe it. However, they did not leave quietly. 5 days later, the peerless Saint King suddenly opened his eyes and roared into the sky. The devouring whirlpool behind him was even more terrifying. It was obvious that the curse had been removed. Next was the great sage's corpse poison. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were shocked. Was it really effective? They were too shocked. What exactly did Lin Xian have? It was so magical. This news spread, and for a moment, the sacred cities were also shocked. Soon, the High Saint King of the Joyous Union Palace had an idea. She asked Qin Xianer to personally invite Lin Xian. Qin Xianer came and explained her intention. Lin Xian smiled. Of course. He followed Qin Xianer and walked in the fairy lake. They arrived at the Bus Saint King's place. The High Saint King looked at Lin Xian and said, "Young Master Lin, if you can help me remove the curse, the Joyous Union Palace, and I will be very grateful. I will also give you a big gift." The High Saint King was being courteous. Lin Xian did not dare to be arrogant in front of a Saint King. Even if a Saint King was severely injured, it was still extremely terrifying. Hence, he nodded and said, "Next, I will let the sword chi enter your body. I hope you will not resist." The High Saint King nodded. If it was someone else, the High Saint King would not dare to do it. This was because it was too dangerous. If the other party attacked, he would be injured even more severely. However, if it was Lin Xian, he was not worried. Lin Xian slowly formed a seal with his palms. The power of the great dragon sword soul appeared again. It entered the High Saint King's body and began to remove the curse. To be honest, Lin Xian was very happy to help these Saint Kings remove the curse. After all, these Saint Kings would definitely fight against the world in the future. With one more Saint King, their side would become stronger. Moreover, these Saint Kings would definitely be grateful for his help this time. They might even give him a big gift. A gift from a Saint King would definitely bring him unexpected benefits. The power of the great dragon sword soul exploded and quickly destroyed the curse. 7 days later, the High Saint King opened her eyes. The curse was really removed. Her aura had recovered a little. "Master." The geniuses of the Joyous Union Palace also gathered around, their faces filled with excitement. "Young Master Lin, thank you. We are very grateful." These people thanked him one after another. Qin Xianer's eyes shone brightly. "Young Master Lin, it is hard to repay your kindness. No matter what you request, we will agree to it." The surrounding Saint Kings were still hesitating. They did not believe that a young man could help them. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.